let's start with this first. Could you ever date a girl while she's currently doing porn?
No question. Absolutely not.
Agreed.
Former adult film star Lana Rhoades wants all her videos deleted for the sake of her mental health. Well, that's too fucking bad.
Yeah.
That you make that to
Guess
no
you should
different
have kept your fucking legs closed. I noticed the last 2-3 shows, you're like right on it.
There's nothing sexier in my mind than a girl in a pair of jeans and a fucking hoodie and a ponytail that still looks good. If humans lost the ability to see all color except one, which color would you want to survive?
You'd be so cold, you'd be shivering. How it wouldn't even.
Well, the best part, I thought, with you with the freezing waterfall, the best part is it can't get much smaller than it already is, so it's not like it's going to shrivel away.
So that's fair enough. I could use that.
Keep that in mind.
I could use that for an excuse.
We ain't similar at all.
We're
about 50 pounds different.
Rest assured, if I'm making fun of you, I think it's hilarious.
I know we always bust my balls about not being able to, or wanting to be single or whatever. Well,
I don't think it's that you want to be single. I think you just don't have a fucking choice. Some people are going to go, well, he's a fucking piece of shit.
Hey, so, are you ready to have some fun? Because I am.
Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's time to kick ass.
Anything could happen.
Oh, that is gross. Do you think you can handle it?
Make some noise!
We're recording?
Yep.
All right. Welcome to Back and Forth with Wes and Mike. Mike?
I'm Harry.
All right. Glad you did that. No Wes today, so we got Harry filling in for him.
Uh-huh.
Harry's just a regular fill-in, I see. So
He's got to work tonight, so he couldn't.
Yeah.
Just seen him at the store when we were getting our typical monsters and sprites for
About
the
time
show.
he gets back to work.
I know, really. Coming from me.
Back to work. Did you tell him? Is that what you said to him?
I told him. Yep. January 3rd. This is the new year. It's 2022.
This is the first one of the new year.
Have you fucked up the date yet on anything? Have you put 21 on anything?
I haven't gone anywhere to do anything, to write anything, to... No.
I almost did today. I had to go do my drug test for work for the
so
new
you're
job.
not getting hired.
And I almost put 21, but the girl that was standing there, she caught me and said 22 just as I was getting ready to write it.
That was her age, dummy, not the fucking year.
That was the first 2 digits of her phone number.
Yeah.
She reminded me, do you remember...
Melissa Harrington?
Yes. Melissa Harrington, her sister Sarah. We used to hang out. Christ, we were like 17.
Long time ago. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, but she looked like her. But it's a problem. You've got masks on now. You can't really tell exactly 100%.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to say nothing, but I think it was her. So
Nobody
anyway,
looks the same anymore.
No. Plus, we're all fat and old and hairy and gross.
Speak for yourself.
No, speak for you. What happened this morning? You took all your Christmas lights down?
I did. It's bare in there now. It's depressing.
Disgusting.
Quite honestly, I don't like to talk about it because it makes me shed a tear.
Is it sad for you?
Yes, very sad.
Your mom still leave hers right up?
That's the ending of Christmas. Christmas is officially done now.
Thank God.
And I'm pretty sad.
Thank God.
Yeah. I think my mother was taking her stuff down the other day as well.
Oh, she didn't last year. I know she left it up because she was going to do that party in July or something.
No, she's not doing it this year, and
didn't that not go that well or something because COVID happened and she couldn't
I think it did.
Did it?
The Christmas in July or whatever it was?
Yeah, she ended up doing that.
Yeah,
It was all women though or something, right?
I think so. I think later on I showed up, but I was drinking. I don't remember much about it.
Yeah, I got you. Well,
I was the Christmas present.
You were?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I bet you're just a joy to have around.
That nobody was happy, so I don't really get it. It's kind of shitty.
Joe Colby gave us a gift. I know you don't like it.
Sitting right there.
But yeah, sitting right there in the camera. You
That's
guys can
some
see it.
fucking
Anybody
fire
can't.
water.
We got 2 bottles. We got a whole nother bottle over there. So we got some drinks.
That's some fire water right there for you, Joe. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we do. I think it's going to end up being more of a novelty than a drink, to be honest, because I tried some the other day. Fuck it. I'll try some right now for the camera.
Last time I drank that, I tore the shit out of my apartment.
Oh, I just don't like it because my dad used to make this too, remember? And it was horrible. Horrible. This is better than my dad's was, but I don't think it's as strong.
Did he, well, was this made, bought? We're not really sure.
This was made, I don't know by who. I know my dad's was made. I used to watch it drip out of the friggin'
It's like rubbing
curly
It's
thing.
rubbing alcohol.
Oh God, it.
You know how you test that? They say if you put the top
Shake
on it,
it, the more
you
bubbles.
shake it, and the bubbles got to go away. The faster those bubbles go away, the stronger it is. So, so to give the people, well, I mean, it's kind of full, but maybe you could see how fast those bubbles go away. It'll tell you how strong that shit is.
Shit will make you blind. It's strong enough to where I don't care how strong it is, but I'll do
I can smell it over here. Oh my God, I smell it. Yeah.
If that's how it works when the bubbles go away, it ain't that strong. I will say it's not. My dad was undrinkable. It was so, but he was like that. He would do the same thing with chili. So he would like hot chili, and that's fine. We didn't mind hot chili, but he would put like Dave's Insanity sauce or the Devil's Asshole or some fucking thing he'd put in it, and it turned into. It was so hot, it just made you sick. It was like sickening hot.
What's the Devil's Asshole taste like?
Hot?
Is it?
Yeah, hot, spicy, like peppers, like rubbing peppers in your eyes.
Getting a heated up pitchfork shoved right in your guts.
Basically, yes, with a jalapeno rubbing on your retina.
I am so glad that we ran out of pellets while we were gone because it's nice and fucking freezing in here.
Yeah, it's chilly up here.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh fuck yeah. Should have wore the winter hat, gloves.
Well, it's been nice all along. I haven't had to use the furnace much. I used it a little bit in the beginning of the year for.
He's like, yeah, I like to keep it around 62. That's comfortable. 60 fucking
64, I said, first of all. 64 ain't that cold.
Horse shit.
Especially when I'm sleeping.
My heat's on 74.
And that's only at night.
I said my heat's on 74.
Isn't your heat included in your fucking rent?
I don't give a shit.
All right, then. So shut up. When you come pay my bill, I'll put this thing on 79.
Oh, fucking pellets are cheap. Shut up.
Yeah. Okay, then.
You got if you can leave a fucking $200 tip guy, you can afford a bag of pellets to heat this place.
I can't leave $200 tips. Apparently you can with my card.
Well, it's amazing what you can do with somebody else's money.
That finally came out, too. I was kind of wondering what happened.
How'd you sleep the other night?
Rough. It was rough, but that's all right. I start work tomorrow, so it'll all go away. I found out, or I heard, I think Harry was telling me, he talked to somebody, and they said that some waitress came in after we had left and tried to claim half of that tip.
Telling me.
The fuck
Who the
out
fuck
of here.
does that? You weren't even on the clock when we were there. What makes you think you're entitled to that?
Not only did you not help Vicky do any of the work,
you literally weren't even in the building.
And Vicky was like part of the whole joke of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You were nothing, so don't come in and try to.
I could see it if like she was there working, and if we ordered stuff, Vicky got busy, and she might have come over, bring us a beer, brought you your burger or something. Mm-hmm. First of all, that's not worth half anyway. But I could see, okay,
at least you have a leg to stand on.
You did a little something. You literally weren't even on the fucking clock. You were home in your fucking PJs.
We were gone before she even got to work.
What makes you think you're entitled to that?
She probably saw a big tip on that thing and said, "Oh, I want a part of that." Greedy
well,
fuck.
I'll tell you, she picked the wrong one because Vicky.
I would have told. In fact, me and Harry were talking about it. I would have told Steve to get a hold of Vicky, or I would have got a hold of Vicky and just told her myself, cancel it then, and I'll just bring you the cash.
You think Vicky knock her right out? She ain't gonna tolerate that shit.
She tough?
I don't know if she's tough, but I know she's freaking ain't afraid to stand up for herself.
Well, she probably ain't the only one. Maybe this other girl is 300 pounds, built like a fucking freight train, like a linebacker.
Vicky'd still go right after her, like a fucking rabid jackal.
I know, y'all. You remember Leanne? She was about the smallest girl I've ever seen, and there ain't nobody could touch her. Christ, she was just a lunatic, is what it was. I think people were more afraid of her for that than they were of getting hurt by her.
It ain't the size of the dog in the fight; it's the size of the fight in the dog.
Yeah, yep. She was a dog.
Oh, that's not a way to speak of her.
Actually, I shouldn't anyway. I'm just kidding.
Well, Leanne, if you listen, he didn't mean that.
She don't listen. She don't give a shit. That was years ago.
He's still even in love with you, so don't. You know. He drives by all the time. Every time we go by, he goes, "I wish her and Johnny would split up." I'd text her.
We wouldn't get along. I don't think now that we've grown up. I've thought about it before.
She's got 2 kids now.
Joking aside, I've thought about it. Yeah, so do I. And I don't want to. I don't even like mine. So
you probably won't. Yeah, you were not going to like hers.
Yeah, I've thought about that, but we're not. At this point, we're so far different.
Different
people.
people.
It's not this. It wouldn't be the same as it was back then.
You're like an acquired taste. You're hard to like. I got to be honest. So.
I sure am.
I've just come accustomed to it. I just kind of tolerate it at this point.
Yeah. Well, I'm starting to think that I got to do some changing with that and start letting some people in, you know?
You might want to. Hence the text. I'm a miserable prick. Yes, you are.
Well, I am.
Who the fuck would want to be around you with your attitude?
Well, they don't know it. I just tell you about it.
What do you mean they don't know it? That's who you are. You're miserable about everything.
When I said that, it was about people that, like, they text me
you literally
and want something or need something or need, like, emotional support or something. We text. And then what had it on my mind is the other day, the person was like, hey, let's hang out Thursday. I was like, all right, Thursday comes, and then they don't fucking answer. Like, you need something from me, and then I'm good enough to hang out with.
That started it, but that's not all.
Well, right, but that started it. And I was like, well, you know what? Fuck her then. She'd go.
Literally,
like, I don't need to talk to you.
You're literally just never happy.
No, I'm never happy.
You literally
never satisfied.
This is a great job you're starting. Good money, great benefits. 2 seconds down the road, everything's great. You're like, fuck it, fuck a job. Look,
well, it's because I feel like I'm going backwards. I'm gonna be digging ditches now.
I guess
it worked so
you'd
hard.
Be going backwards if you didn't work at all. That's when you go backwards.
Yeah, but that's a lot further backwards than where I'm going.
Okay. Are you going to have a fucking good paying job, have a roof over your head and food in your fridge and get yourself even
but there's
fatter?
way more to life than money. There's happiness, too. I've said that for years. I won't work somewhere I'm not happy.
I understand
I'll take a pay cut any day over happiness.
But you need money to survive.
For now, and that's why I'm working there. And who knows? Maybe I'll love it. I don't know yet.
Yeah, but that's exactly my point, though. You're so negative and miserable all the time, you don't even give shit a chance.
Well, if that don't change, I'm on to the next thing.
You're friggin' miserable before you even know.
I start off right from the bottom, and I got to climb out of that hole, that negative hole.
I hope they keep you right at the fucking bottom. Right where
I'm talking about in misery. Like I start out right with the worst, and then I got to climb out of that hole all the time. I make it. In other words, I'm negative. I'm a negative fucking Nancy is what I am. Now,
you'd find $100 blowing across your driveway. You'd be like, fucking bullshit. It could have been $200. Well, fuck, it's a free $100. Pick it up.
Never satisfied. Never satisfied.
Never. Anyway. What do you got here? Joe Rogan article you wanted to talk about?
Well, his thing just came out Friday with that Dr. Malone or whatever his name was.
That's right. I did watch something. I remember I sent you something.
Yeah, I listened to about an hour and a half of it.
The one I really enjoyed, to be honest with you, was that 12-minute clip that I kept telling you about.
Well, it's got to be in that same one because he only interviewed the guy one time.
I thought so, but
he probably picked
the one that I sent you was like 3 hours and 15 minutes, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
3, whatever.
That's the one I want to listen to.
And what I did is I just kept touching it little by little, just jumping ahead,
mm-hmm.
and I couldn't find anything the same of that 12-minute clip, so I don't know. I did see on there was a deleted interview or something, so maybe that 12-minute clip that I'm talking about was part of the deleted one.
Yeah,
why did it get deleted? I didn't get into that. I didn't listen to that. This was at like 1 o'clock in the morning last night or the night before, so I didn't.
Was it from JRE? Like, was that the YouTube channel?
I can't remember now, to be honest with you.
I don't know if I would trust anything that didn't come right from Joe's page.
But I can't remember now.
Anyway, I imagine he moved on to, what was that? Is it on here? Oh, moved to Getter, Gettr, I guess is like the new.
Is that going to be like his own personal social media?
No, I don't even. I think if the article I read earlier isn't this one, but it was a different one. He was talking about how he moved. He's setting up some stuff. It's like a Twitter, but a different one. And he's getting this thing set up.
That's what I mean. Is he opening it?
Is a backup.
Opening it himself, though? So
no,
like he's
it's somebody else's. No, he's just moving to it.
He's just going to try and go on to it.
Right. So that if he catches any backlash from this Dr. Malone thing, because the doctor himself did, he got booted off of Twitter. We talked about that last episode a little bit.
I'll tell you, Joe Rogan's huge, though. They go after him. They better be careful.
He's big. Yeah, and it's going to be hard. They paid him $40 million at Spotify. It's going to be hard for them to be like, no, we don't need you anymore, because they still owe him that money for the contract.
Somewhere's in that video, I think that doctor was even saying something along that line, though, basically like he appreciated Joe having him on the show and stuff, because he was basically telling him, like, you're pretty big. Like, you got a huge following, and a lot of people look up to you, listen to you. So it's going to be. So this. I mean, I guess you could shut anybody down. They could shut anybody down, but I'll tell you what, it's probably not going to be as easy as they think.
That episode came out Friday. It released on Spotify, at least on Friday. And something I was reading, maybe I misread this, but something I was reading. He has, and now it's Monday, and he's got 40 million plus listens on that show already.
What's that tell you?
Yeah,
so even if they cancel him, he's already 40 million. 40 million people have already seen that. And just think if everybody shared, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If everybody shared it, and then they shared it to whoever they shared it, who knows how many people have seen it.
The thing is, from the hour and a half of it that I listened, I still got to listen to the second half, but the hour and a half that I listened to, he didn't really tell anybody not to get vaccinated. He just said, I don't really think you need to.
That's what
in every case. I think some cases are different, and you can use this ivermectin, and it's worked.
That little skit back to that I posted that 12-minute one. Again, it wasn't the long one, but yeah, exactly. He basically never did the words come out of his mouth, do not get vaccinated. I absolutely, he never once said that. He basically...
He's actually said before in different podcasts I listen to, he has said, if you want to get vaccinated, I don't give a shit.
He basically, in layman's terms, just said, if you're going to do it, make sure you do your research and know what you're getting and blah. That's all he said. Is that really that bad?
So I think this guy was actually a perfect guest for him. But like I said, the day before he went to the studio to record, they canceled him on Twitter. They canceled Senator Green. She's a Republican, I think, down south somewhere. They just banned her on Twitter like 2 days ago.
Over COVID, you were telling
something
me
to do with the vaccine or something. And it was another thing. She wasn't even saying don't get it. She was just saying do your research beforehand. But according to Dr. Malone, he was talking about this thing where it's vaccine hesitance. And social media has come to the point now where if you post anything that could lead people to being hesitant of getting the vaccine, that's enough now for them to ban you. And they absolutely can, because they own it.
Like you and I were talking the other day when you were at the house, though. You can literally post or say anything you want, for the most part, within reason, except anything to do with the coronavirus or the vaccine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could basically...
Unless you're saying how you should get it and you should take it, and it's the best thing in the world.
But I mean, it basically doesn't really... There's almost no limitations on what I can say, do, or post, and nobody will ban me, block me.
Nobody even pays attention. Nobody cares.
But as soon as I mention corona's fake or fuck the vaccine, whether I believe that or not, but if you say that, the second you do that, you're canceled, you're blocked, whatever the case may be. Case in point, I know I touched on it last week, but that video that I posted on TikTok, that guy said nothing bad. It wasn't offensive. He didn't swear. He just basically said you don't need a mask. It's kind of silly. This was his own opinion anyway. It doesn't mean that I feel that way or anybody else. That was his opinion, but it was nothing bad, and they block you and take you down for it. So you can do whatever you want, but don't mention
Dr.
COVID
Malone
or the vaccine.
Is a big name. I mean, he had half a million fucking followers.
I'm a fucking peon compared to that guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it just goes to show, though, that they don't care, though, who
I think
you are.
actually the smaller you are, the better chance you have, because you don't stick out so much.
Well,
Somebody like you posting the same thing that posted something like him, I feel like is like a red, because he gets a lot more attention, so it gets shared around.
Well, that's why I was dumbfounded when that happened to me, though. I'm thinking to myself, I'm literally a peon. Basically, nobody even knows I exist, and they're block it and permanently ban me for that. Like, what are you out of your... That just goes to show how serious they are about making this agenda work.
Yeah.
They don't care that I'm literally a nobody and only 12 people saw my video.
What was that thing called that the doctor was talking about where they make the agenda work? The government is like, there was a name, psychosis or something.
Mass psychosis.
Formula or something like that. It was 3 words.
I literally just
like
said
that.
it to you and I forgot it. It was...
But he was basically talking about how they get people to listen like that, and
they basically have you hypnized, and you don't even realize
it. How you do that, and everything that he named off has been done so far. And now look at it. And it's a lot of these liberals that, like we were talking about in the last episode, you could put written out proof right in front of them. They could read it and read that they were wrong. And they still won't believe you.
That's what he said, though.
They still won't change their mind.
They got him like hypnotized, so they're gonna even though he's lying, he said it right in that. If people haven't heard it, they should go listen to it. He literally says on there.
I think I put a link on the back and forth.
Even if
Facebook page,
the way they have it set up, even if the people know that you're lying to them, they're still going to follow you. They're still going to listen because they're going to dwell on that one thing. He says they're like hypnotized.
Well, and the thing of it is, I don't even know if it's really the liberals' fault at this point. It's almost like they don't even realize what they're doing. They don't even know that they're doing it. They're just fighting this good fight, and they don't even realize that they're...
It's.
I mean, sums up. When you put a piece of paper or put an article or an actual scientific evidence in front of somebody that they're wrong, and they still won't admit that they're wrong, I mean, you're fucked at that point. How do you argue that?
Exactly. You can't.
You might as well not even waste your time anymore. You proved it wrong to somebody, and they just ban you off of Twitter like this guy, this Malone guy.
Because he's not meeting their agenda. He's not part of their club, as he was saying in a roundabout way, too.
Right, he's not.
They're basically forcing
helping
you.
They
want you to get this, and they want you to be part of their club. They're forcing you to do it. And the way he said, too, and he had a good point. He said, what did we say? What the hell did he say? I can't remember. Basically along the lines of like, nobody interacts with anybody anymore, though. They got this lockdown, so it kind of keeps everybody away. He says, of course, over social media, everybody interacts. I interact with you on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, Instagram, but nobody's really spending time together. Nobody's like getting together one-on-one type deal. You know what I'm saying? We don't go out to lunches half as much. type scenario, and he said that's part of it. They want to keep people separate.
Yeah, but that's up to us. We can still go out to lunch. There's nothing against it.
No, you're right. You're
we
right.
just got to put the effort in.
But they want people separated, and it's working.
Well, we can't just sit on the couch and let them win.
Case in point with me, though, like you're right, we can do that. But what I tell you all the time, I don't even want to stop to the store and get a drink. I bring my drink, so I'm like, not a big deal. I can do it, but I'm like, I don't want them to have the satisfaction of basically forcing me to put that mask on. So
they're having the satisfaction of getting you to stay home and be unsocial. Either way, they win.
Well, essentially,
that's kind of the point. They're winning either way.
Exactly, but
it sucks. There's not a whole lot you can do.
You said it yourself. What are you going to do? I'm one person. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
Until you get everybody on the same page.
Well, now social media is how you do it. And
until you get shut down once you speak out against
it. It's almost like they're in war right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a war right now between the people trying to shut the other people down and the people trying to get their voice out there. And I think it's the beginning stages. If you watch The Social Dilemma, is that what it's called? Social Dilemma on Netflix. It just came out a little while ago, but it's all about Facebook, Instagram, and social media, TikTok and everything. And they go over a lot of stuff. And they were talking in there how social media is the new way to win wars now. It's gone from fighting in a line like you did back in the Civil War to guerrilla warfare like Vietnam and stuff, to missile warfare like in Iraq and stuff like that. And all along we've had nuclear war from like the Cold War. And they were saying that now we're even beyond that and into like a social warfare. In other words, other countries can put these little seeds out in the thing. In fact, there was an article about Russia. They thought, I don't know whatever became of it, but they thought that Russia had kind of started a lot of our racial stuff. And there was talks about China, too, doing it. But they get that out there, and they get everybody talking about it, and then it just snowballs and snowballs, and then it comes across the
people
entire
exaggerate
word.
It, and by the time we hear it, it's already been through 62 million people's mouths.
Yep.
So we don't even get the true facts of it.
So back in the Revolutionary War, I remember from learning about this. I hated it in school, but after I got out of school, I loved history. But the first person you tried to kill was the flute boy or the drummer boy. That was always in that
messenger
group. Well, no, there would be the troops walking, and then this drummer boy would be with them, beating on his drum for morale. So the first thing you shoot is that guy, so their morale was all fucked up, or the guy playing the flute. That's what I learned in history anyway.
I'd want to kill the messenger first.
You kill that guy. Well, there ain't even a messenger. It's just they're fighting at this point, just walking through the woods. But you kill that guy so that music and that like good mood and everything is gone right there. And then you work on killing. And I think a lot of what happened is happening with us, whether it becomes a war or not, I don't know. But they're just trying to kill everybody's morale. Now look at us. Like you just said, they got us all sitting home. Nobody wants to go out. I don't want to get off the couch. I don't want to have to put a mask on. I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to do it. They're winning. If it was them that started it, our morale's all fucked up. Half of the country doesn't have fucking jobs, so the money is all screwed up. Our economy is on the brink of collapse.
People don't want to work. I don't believe that's
right. But why? Because the government helps them with it.
There's nothing but fucking job offer.
Siren.
Yep, right on cue.
Yep,
we don't want to miss that.
Every fucking recording time.
There's nothing everywhere you go. There's help wanted. That's early. It's only 3:25. So.
Oh shit! It's gonna go for a while. Must be a fire.
But that's just because people are lazy. But because the government's giving them everything now.
Well, I think people are lazy in general, like you're saying, and then also like you're saying, I think it doesn't help that the government made them lazier by paying for all their shit.
You just sit home and do nothing and get money.
Look at this. This is the thing about this college loan thing that drives me nuts. And I made a post about it on my personal Facebook the other day because I just got thinking about it. I read an article and stuff. I read so much because of the show now that I never gave a shit about before, but.
Stop trying to play footsies with me behind the scenes.
It amazes me that these people can cry and complain that the government isn't paying for their student loan.
Why should they?
Right. If that's the case, why can't you pay my fucking mortgage or my truck payment or anything? It's no different. You buy an education or you buy a vehicle. Oh, I don't want to pay for my vehicle anymore. The government should pay for it. And with that logic, what's the fucking difference? Mm-hmm. You took out a loan. You pay. I understand that these loans are expensive. I think colleges are probably overpriced because it's almost like a monopoly. I know there's a lot of different colleges, but it's almost like if you want to go to college, you have to pay big money.
But if you want to go to the big name ones.
So I understand it's not completely fair for these kids, and then a lot of the kids are going to college and coming out and not finding jobs. But
nobody forced them to do that, though.
Well, and that's right. I could go buy. So say my truck is worth $50,000. And I paid $65,000 for it. That ain't the fucking nobody else's fault but my own for not doing the research.
You could have bought a $10,000 vehicle if you wanted.
Right.
You decided to buy the $60,000 vehicle, not anybody else.
That's right. I decided that was a good price, and then afterwards I found out that it wasn't a good price. I can't go back on that. Like, oh, this is the government's fault. The taxpayers need to pay for this now. No, I just didn't do my fucking research, and I got ripped off. It's as simple as that. So whether you believe in college or not,
why is it our responsibility to pay for their education?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I didn't go to college.
Yeah.
And you know what gets me is that and not being a dick, but I make more money than most of the people I know that went to college.
Absolutely.
And I didn't even spend any of that money. And I feel bad for them. I'm not making fun of them. I feel like my cousin. I feel so bad for her. She wanted to be a teacher. And it just so happens when she got out of college was that time when all the teachers were getting laid off, and it was like a weird time for teachers. The poor girl, she come right out of college in that month that it happened, and it just didn't work out, and she's been paying for it ever since. That situation's a little different. However, it was still, I could have chose to went to college to be an airline pilot, and then say when I got out, they did away with airplanes. I mean, who the fuck knows? It's any situation. You take those chances in life when you do this.
At the end of the day, it's your responsibility to pay back that loan.
Right. Whether
at the end of the day, it's your responsibility and my responsibility to pay for my vehicle, to pay the mortgage, to whatever. It's my responsibility.
Yep.
I have cable TV. I don't need cable TV, but I want it. It's nobody else's responsibility to pay for it. I want it. If I don't want to pay for it, I fucking cancel it. Simple as that.
You don't get it anyway, and then expect somebody else to pay for it.
Exactly. It's the government should pay my cable bill. Well, I don't fucking need cable then. Just you know what I mean?
So it's like buying a Mercedes. I could have bought a Mercedes, or I can buy a Chevy Malibu. It's no different than going to Harvard.
I see you more. I see you more in like a Prius.
You would.
Mm-hmm. You ever see them when they go by? They're like, you're gay.
They don't even make sound. They're electric.
That's exactly what they sound like.
They're electric, you dummy.
Oh my god!
Don't you know what a Prius is? Don't you know anything about monkeys?
I know exactly what a fucking Prius is because I can't stand them on the road. Them and Subaru drivers
and people from Vermont driving.
Yeah,
most of them.
And people from fucking Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
I don't know. I just made it up.
Just feel like throwing up.
Just threw it up. Yeah.
Sure. Tennessee too.
Yeah. Fuck them. Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
You know
too.
what? Utah. Fuck them too.
All right. Yeah. The Mormons down in Utah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Wyoming.
So that's
fuck you.
That's that. Fuck everybody.
Yeah. That's true.
So anyway,
you
Joe
ain't paying
Rogan,
my
that
bills,
was a good.
fuck you all.
If you guys want to listen to that, I put a link to the Joe Rogan show. It's on Spotify, but that's probably where you want to listen to. You can watch the video there on Spotify and everything.
Typically, I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, it's not like it matters anyway. Typically, we wouldn't push somebody to go listen to another podcast. We want everybody to listen to us. But it don't matter anyway. Joe Rogan's so big.
We're not going to turn people off with Joe Rogan.
Exactly. And I wouldn't give a shit anyway because that's something I really feel that everybody should give a listen to.
I actually like his show.
Yeah.
I think more people should listen to it, to be honest with you. But yeah, so that's a link if you want that. That's on the Facebook page. But I had to type the word COVID and the word vaccine. I used those letters, like put the C and then the O with like the two dots over it, and then the V and the I with like the crooked thing, so that it didn't trip anything in Facebook with those words in it.
All joking aside, all that crazy shit you look up on that computer for the show, the fucking weird porn or sounds or whatever, that doesn't even get you red flags. As soon as you go to type in vaccine or COVID, red flags are going off. The fucking FBI's knocking on your door like, what are you doing? What are you typing COVID for?
Why are you trying to get people not... we don't mind that you're trying to get some lady to suck semen out of a straw or whatever the fuck it was we were talking about.
Yeah, that's normal. That's okay.
But don't tell people not to get the vaccine.
Yeah, why'd you say the word COVID?
I've never told anybody. I don't care if you get it. My mom has it. My stepfather, my grandmother have it. A lot of people I know have it. I could care less. I just don't want it, so don't push it on me. That's all it is with me.
Exactly. 100%.
So that's that. We got, speaking of cancellations, before we get too far from Christmas, apparently a school in upstate New York, it doesn't say, they want to cancel Jingle Bells now.
That's ridiculous.
It's got to say in here somewhere, the holiday tune, they want to get rid of it because it has a questionable past. I don't know if it says anything. The backlash was swift, with critics calling the decision
Where do you think
liberalism run amok. It's absolutely crazy. If you don't like something, you just cancel it now. And people, and the worst part of it is not that, oh, you're upset, get over it. It's 75 other people go, okay, let's help you out and get rid of this now.
I feel so bad for you. You can cry on my shoulder. Let's fight this. It ain't going to matter.
You should laugh at them fucking people. They want to get rid of.
Where's it going to go? What was that other song they tried to cancel? Baby, It's Cold Outside.
Yeah, well, that same year that they canceled, we've talked about in the show, the same years they canceled that was Nicki Minaj's fucking
WAP song.
Yeah, Wet Ass Pussy song. That was #1 on the fucking charts, but you can't play Baby, It's Cold Outside because that offended people. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? It's so ridiculous.
This will probably gain a little traction. You'll get them fucking idiots out there that'll go along with this. You'll get them ones that'll bite and they'll go along. Oh, I believe you're right. Yeah, because the question will pass. Yeah. But ultimately, this ain't going anywhere. You're out of your fucking mind.
Did you hear, did I talk about it yet? I don't think so. There was a giant rock somewhere down south. And in the picture, they had a crane. You couldn't see the crane, but you could see like the arm coming down, and they had these straps around it, and they were just lifting it off the ground. And they were canceling a rock because way back in the day, there was a song written.
Just
This
so
is
I
pretty
understand.
recently.
This is just a normal rock, though.
Just a giant
It doesn't
fucking-
have
but it's
like
giant.
any. It doesn't have any like meaning. It's
Nothing painted on it.
It's just
no-
a rock they dug up and found it, and that's
Well,
it.
it wasn't. It was just sitting on the ground, so it wasn't like a. It's been there, but it was such a big rock in this town that apparently it's become kind of a thing. And back years ago, I should have looked that article up. I didn't know we were going to talk about it till just now, so I didn't look it up. But they were talking about.
After he already said that he looks up so many articles and reads about.
I know.
He's a
Christ,
fucking liar.
I can't look them all up.
This is what I work with, guys. This is what I work with.
They wanted to cancel that rock and get recorded that picture. They were removing it.
How the fuck do you cancel a rock?
Because I guess years ago somebody wrote a song, and the song had the N-word in it, and it also had this rock was mentioned in this song, or a poem or something
I could
like
understand
that.
it about the N-word, but a rock.
Well, right. Well, that's my thing. Like, yeah, the N-word isn't a great word to say, but what does it have to do with a fucking rock? Just because it happened to be in the same song? Now they got to get rid of it?
Unbelievable. But yeah, meanwhile, they don't cancel all the other songs that have all that racist shit in it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't listen to rap. I mean, obviously I have. That's why I'm aware. But you ever listen to some rap songs? You want to talk about? You want to talk about canceling shit?
Well, it's no different than that canceling that "Baby It's Cold Outside" for wet ass pussy.
I'm gonna start a fun thing or what do you? I can't talk today. What am I? A thing that you would sign there. What am I trying to think?
Petition.
Yes, that.
See, guys, this is what I'm working with.
Holy fuck!
Can't even talk. I can't. We'll look up articles.
Anyway, I want a bunch of people to sign this like petition or whatever. I want to cancel all these rap songs and I want to cancel WAP. It's offensive. I'm offended by it.
Yeah. That's a slippery slope.
It seems like it's that easy though nowadays, right? Like you just all of a sudden I just you know what? I don't like that black vest, and I'll be damned. You ain't gonna wear it ever again because I'm gonna stop you.
Right, just because you don't like it. That's
Yeah,
what I mean.
don't
People
like
have
it.
turned into such pussies about things. It's the liberals.
Here's an idea.
Oh
if
my
you don't,
god,
if
the
you don't
liberals.
like a fucking song, turn the station. How's that?
Right.
That's what I do.
That's what I do too.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah,
Guess what? I don't like the looks of a fucking rock. I don't look at it. It's pretty fucking simple.
I bet you half people didn't even know about that fucking rock.
I got a part of me. This shit gets me so fired up sometimes, as you could probably tell, and everybody else listening and watching. But it just sometimes
Your beard is turning red.
I got no. It probably is. I got no proof of this, but I gotta wonder sometimes if some of this stuff is it's so ridiculous, such nonsense. I wonder if it gains as much traction as it does because people do it just basically to see if they can to like get a kick out of it or something because they got nothing better to do. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? Okay, so we're gonna cancel this rock now. You're saying now people know that's ridiculous, but they're gonna go. I wonder if we can really get that. Let's get along with that just to see if we can make it happen because it's so crazy. Or if they have no life, they're living in their mom's basement, so they figure, fuck it, let's jump on the bandwagon and go along with it.
Well,
That's
I think
how
it
I
helps
feel.
the cause because the more ridiculous and outrageous that the cancellation is, I think the more traction it gets, almost as a joke on social media.
That's what I mean, though.
So it just they're like, like this one, Jingle Bells. Like even in the article, they're like, we can't believe that you'd want to cancel that. But here it is, an article. Now here we are talking about it. Now somebody's going to hear that and go on and on and on.
But
I think just the more ridiculous they are, the better off they are because
what are they saying? What you touched on it? What was did they say really?
I don't think it actually says
Jingle Bells from the schools, and instead replace it with a song that doesn't have the potential to be controversial or offensive. What the fuck is controversial or offensive about Jingle Bells?
Well, here it is. So it's almost like this rock. The principal and other school staffers confirmed to the local outlet the decision was inspired in part by a 2017 article written by Boston University professor
Kaina
Hamil.
Fuck him or her, whoever they are, by the way.
Whose research purportedly showed the iconic Christmas song was first publicly performed during a minstrel show in Boston. I don't know what a minstrel show is in Boston. In 1857, and allegedly featured performers donning blackface. The potential link was enough for Tapan, which must be this guy's name, to deem the song altogether problematic.
Case in point here, though.
It's almost like The Rock, just because it happens. I don't know what blackface is, though. Maybe that's serious.
These are people, though, that have nothing better on their hands. Maybe I'm just stupid, but I didn't even know any of that until I literally just read it. You read it in that article anyway.
Right.
When I hear Jingle Bells, I did not know. I never knew that.
I bet you 95% of the fucking world's population
That's exactly
didn't know
my
that
point,
until just
though.
now.
They're saying that's their reason for it. Nobody even fucking knew about that. And now that you read this article and I know about it, the next time I hear Jingle Bells, I'm still not going to think about that.
I don't know.
So it's stupid.
I want to look up what blackface is because.
And by the way, it said, where did it say? I just read
because I don't know.
Rock Primary School in Brighton, New York. So fuck you in Brighton too.
Oh, why blackface? It's been nearly 200 years since white performers first started painting their faces black to mock enslaved Africans in minstrel. So I understand that this quote unquote blackface thing is not good. But
Nobody
just
even thinks
because
nobody relates that to this song except for these fucking idiots, though.
right,
And they want
I
to make a
had
big.
never fucking known that. Not only that, but just because
Are you wearing
group-
that black vest to mock blacks and slaves or whatever?
yeah, apparently.
That's know. What I
apparently
mean?
that's why I wore. This is why
Yeah.
my watch is black and shit because
you-
to make fun of the
Yeah,
blacks.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's
how
ridiculous.
fucking dare you?
This is what I mean. They reached so hard on this just because this group. Granted, maybe it was a shitty group. I don't even never really heard of them until just now. This blackface group or whatever, but. Just because they did that, now this song has no fucking history. It's gone. They want it gone because of that. That's no different. All right, well then, what if like a rap song you and me performed at one time, and then can you imagine people that perform rap songs wanted to cancel that song now because you and me did it one time, and or some I don't know how. Like I'm losing my train of thought here with it because it goes so
It
deep
makes
and
you
so
go that
outrageous.
It makes you go that crazy though because that's how crazy
trying to
and
figure it
ridiculous
out.
this is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Well, anyway.
Says they were quite shocked to learn the school nixed Jingle Bells over her years-old research, explaining she in no way recommended that it stop being sung by children. Exactly.
I don't.
Kids
when
don't
I
even
think Jingle
fucking-
Bells, we talked about it on the show for the Christmas thing, the #1 Christmas song. Just kids just joyously walking through the fucking city streets
That's what
singing
I mean.
Jingle Bells. Like
nobody thought of this.
Yep.
And after this, nobody's still going to think about this. That's this just they're like you said, they're reaching. They
Who's
just
the guy-
reach and reach.
Who's the black guy that does all the National Geographic, the voice for the back of him? Does it not Denzel Washington? Samuel Jackson? No.
No, for National Geographic.
No, he does all like the world. He does announcing for everything. Older guy, probably 65, 70 maybe 70.
I'm not familiar.
He's a big actor. If I said it, you'd know, but I can't think of it. Christ. Anyways,
I know.
Yeah, I know you do.
He's heavier set. He was in a 2.5 Men show. Morgan
Freeman.
No, it's not Morgan.
Yeah, that's
Freeman.
who I'm talking about. Morgan Freeman.
Oh, that's not who I was.
That's who I'm talking about. He was doing an interview with somebody, and he said that basically, along the lines of what we're talking about, if you stop bringing up racism, it's got a way better chance of just going away than if you bring it up around every fucking corner, every song, every Jingle Bells, every rock.
Absolutely.
You got to get rid of it. All it does is pound it right back in people's. Now look at.
But that's what they want, though.
Here we're talking about racism. Not that we're talking bad about it, but we're bringing it up because of these issues. Just like he says, if you never did any of that shit with this song or anything, we would have never had nothing to talk about.
Mm-hmm. But that's what they want. They want this racism out there, though. They want people.
I think the
divided.
government does. I think there's and I don't know if it's our government even anymore. After hearing that thing on that social dilemma, that's a good way to start crumbling a country from the inside. Is like if China. I'm not blaming China. I don't know. This is a lot higher pay grade than me.
China virus.
But if another country wanted to go to war with us in 10 years, the best thing to do, I can see it. Start 10 years early and get the whole country to crack and be against each other. Blacks are against the whites are against the blacks.
Well,
the gays are against the straights, and the whole, it just break everybody down from the inside and then attack.
Well, it only makes sense. Your strength is in numbers. So if they can divide us, we're not nearly as strong.
Sure.
Let's just say for the simple math, because I'm not that good at it regardless, let's just say the population is 1,000. Well, if they split us right in half, so it's 500 and 500, well, 1,000 people are a hell of a lot stronger than 500, so they divide us. Now there's only 500. Yep. And then out of that 500, they find a way to divide that. So now it's 250, 250, and 500.
Right, there's a bunch of different groups.
So you got a group of 500, a group of 250, and a group of 250. Well, the 250 and the 250, they're fucking done. They don't stand a fucking chance.
And you can do a lot more.
And you just start picking out the weak ones. Yep. We're all weak at that point.
If you get a chance, I don't know if you'd really like it, but if you wanted to look into it and learn about it, it was a pretty good movie, that Social Dilemma. It talks about a lot of that stuff and how...
Is it on Netflix or something?
Yes, it is on Netflix. Yep.
Is that what it's called?
So
Social Dilemma?
I think so. Social Dilemma, yeah. And it's not a huge, long movie. It's like an hour and a half. It's a movie, but it's not like a big, huge documentary. But it is a documentary about social media, basically TikTok.
Social media, I think, is bad. I use it all the time, but I think it's terrible anyway.
Well, yeah,
I really do.
Sure.
I guess it has its ups and downs, its perks, I guess. Like you said, the way to win a war or whatever nowadays would be social media, essentially, but it's terrible.
No, sure.
It really is.
The leading cause of fucking relationships.
Like we talked about time and time again, though, too. You got CNN, Fox, all this, whatever. It's terrible for everybody. I can do whatever I want. I can go to Fox News and find out whatever I want to find about this. You can go to CNN, find whatever you want about that.
And just then to follow whatever you believe in. Then just
go on Google. We can find it. It's just evil. It's the evil. It really is.
Yeah.
All the way around.
So this came up last night. I try not to talk too much, and I won't bring up names, but I know we always bust my balls about not being able to, or wanting to be single or whatever. Well,
I don't think it's that you want to be single. I think you just don't have a fucking choice.
that's nice.
Why'd you laugh?
That's real nice.
I was being serious for once.
That'll go in the intro.
The whole joke was, the whole show's been a joke, but the one time I was serious, you laughed. You're all fucked up.
Well, so here's the thing. I reached out to somebody that I kind of pushed away because of what we talk about, and I don't want anybody around.
Why'd you do that? Because I told you were a fucking idiot.
Yep, you and Heather. Heather told me I was an idiot too, but yep, you and me talked about it multiple times, and you basically just told me you're a fucking idiot. You're going to be alone and miserable hermit when you're 80 years old.
Well, like we said anyway, while we were talking about it, you pushed them away for no reason. It wasn't even their fault.
Right. Well, and
they don't even know why the fuck you did it.
Right.
They're on the other end of it, like, why the fuck?
And she didn't. I had to explain it to her last night.
Why has he not talked to me in 3-4 days? I didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
So she's sitting there going, what the fuck? I thought he was a nice guy. And now she's going, fuck him. He's an asshole. Yes, he is.
Well, luckily, she's pretty understanding.
And
a sweetheart, which is more furthers my fucking thoughts about
she's understanding.
About how I shouldn't have done it, because now, like, you come back and she's a sweetheart.
Imagine if you'd done it, though, and she was like, fuck you, I don't want nothing to do with you.
I wouldn't have blamed her.
That could have been another good missed opportunity.
Yeah, I wouldn't have blamed her.
You'll never know.
Yep. But anyways, the whole point of that, it came up, but I wanted to mention, because we always talk about how I'm never wanting to talk to girls or whatever, but we were talking last night about she doesn't have Facebook. She has no social media other than...
Her life is probably 10 times better than us, and I mean that.
Well, yeah, and it almost made it, because it gave us shit to talk about. Like, over the course, because we talked for a while before, and then we didn't talk for about a month because I'm an idiot, and then now we started, but we were talking about the past, how, like, I had to learn all that about her birthday, the last name, everything, like back in the old days. And it was kind of nice.
I was just going to say, it probably was kind of cool like it used to be.
Well, and it was great because you actually had conversation with somebody to learn about it instead of just creeping them on fucking
read
Facebook.
About them, basically.
Yeah, you go on Facebook, when's their birthday? You got it there. You don't have to remember anything because it just pops up on their birthday, so you can remember to text them or whatever. Last name's there, middle name, their favorite restaurant, everything, all their fucking pictures, everything's right on Facebook. You don't even... So,
I see you like, horses. Well, how'd you know? Well, geez, you got 75 pictures of horses on Facebook.
Yeah. Sure.
It's fucking easy to do.
But what was kind of nice is that she doesn't have any of that. So I actually had to have a real life conversation.
You had to put in some work.
Sure.
Wow, that's a first for you.
The effort, they say the juice is worth the squeeze sometimes. It was made it more... It's almost like when you work for your money instead of having it given to you.
Juice is worth the squeeze? I'd never heard that before.
You've never heard that?
No.
Well, it usually goes the other way. It's like it almost means like pick your battles. Like, is the juice worth the squeeze? But it means basically the same thing. I kind of reversed it, but... Anyway, so that's that. We were talking about social media and how it's ruining things and stuff, and it just goes along with the point that it does kind of, and you almost don't even realize it until you meet somebody that doesn't have social media, and you realize how fun it is to get to know somebody without creeping their shit and seeing their pages.
And honestly, next time you talk, you got to ask, all serious though, her life is probably way better than ours, and I mean that. Just because she doesn't have all that, she doesn't see all that negativity all the time. She probably just lives her normal life. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I know what I'm trying to say, but I don't. You probably.
Well, you don't. We haven't talked about it fully, but she'll mention like she doesn't get opinions for. She makes her, and it makes people smarter. She's a lot smarter about this shit because.
Oh boy,
you don't.
So I'll give her like a week. She'll smarten right up about you then. But fucking see you later.
Yeah, she's that smart.
Guess who's getting ghosted next, motherfucker?
Yeah, that's right. But because she had to actually do the work to figure out stuff about the vaccination and the COVID and all that stuff, because you don't just. You or me, we get our information because we see a lot of it on Facebook. Mm-hmm. You see some article and you start reading it and you start to believe it or whatever.
Or if we want it, we just...
Or a lot of people. So anyway, that's Facebook has definitely ruined... I think Facebook is the leader in ruining people's lives.
Absolutely.
Not just because they were the first
I think
one,
social media in general.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could sit here and tell you Facebook's number one, Instagram's number two. Social media in general.
Yeah.
I think it's all the same.
Yep.
Because some people might have an Instagram, not have a Facebook. Might have a Facebook, not an Instagram. They might not have neither, but they got the Twitter.
Do you consider YouTube, podcasts, stuff like that? Do you consider that social media? I don't know if that's...
In a sense.
I imagine some of that can probably hurt people too, because you can put those same videos on YouTube or the same audio on podcasts. But I'd almost put them at a little bit lesser level. I'm not just saying this because I'm biased and we're doing a YouTube channel and a podcast, but in reality, I don't think that is as bad, and it can be, but I don't think that's as bad as like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
I would agree, and this might sound stupid, but I guess I feel that way because people are actually listening to us. And
right, they have to click on the video
not only
and
that,
put effort in.
They're actually like hearing our voice though. Like, like you when you text somebody, you can't get the full expression when they're texting it to you. Like I might say, I don't know, fuck you or something, and I could be mad. I could be joking.
And it's all in the tone of your voice.
You don't. It's in the tone of my voice, but on
you
a
can't
text,
tell on a
a
text.
text message, you wouldn't know that.
Right.
So, like on a podcast, they not only do they have to click to actually watch it, but they literally can hear our voices. So if we say, I could be like, fuck you all right now. Well, they could just tell that that's a joke. I wasn't like, fuck you all.
Right, but if we wrote that down and you said fuck you all, some people might read it and be like, well, fuck them guys.
What you
then.
talked about, a blog or a vlog or whatever.
Blog,
so it's just writing.
Just the writing.
So if I literally just typed it out, some people are going to go, well, he's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because they don't know which way I meant it. They don't know
Right.
where I'm going with that.
Right.
To where
There's a lot of personality in the tone of somebody's voice. A lot of people like you, and they don't realize how much of an asshole you are because you have this tone in your voice that is likable.
I've gotten good over the years, though. I can actually say stuff, mean it, and you won't even know it.
Right, because it covers exactly what I mean.
You're a fucking piece of shit.
Right.
But see, you wouldn't even know if I meant that or not because I did it with a
No,
smile.
I
and
know
everything.
you fucking mean it.
It came right from the fucking heart.
I know you mean it.
Came right from the heart.
I sure did.
But you know what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot different, I think, because they can actually, and with the YouTube, like even though I said it's a lot the same, they can see us.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Well, there's bad things on YouTube. There's bad podcasts that try to
Absolutely.
push the agenda. But you have more of a choice. When you're scrolling through Facebook, you kind of stumble across that. But when you go to YouTube or you might see a thumbnail or something, but you're not going to spend an hour listening to a podcast that you don't agree with or don't like. You're just going to click off of it. Mm-hmm. Where Facebook is so much quicker and in your face. Granted, you don't have to read the articles on Facebook either, but as you're scrolling, you see them, and then you see another one, then you see another one, then you see another one. It's like it kind of burns into your head.
Exactly. And what I'll do is sometimes I'll see stuff on Facebook, even if I don't typically care about it per se. Like a lot of the news articles, I don't even pay attention to it because it's so ridiculous. But
Yep.
I will tell you, a lot of times I find myself I see the article, I don't give a fuck about it, but I'll read the comments.
Yes.
Just because I want to see what people are saying.
I'll get myself so
don't know
mad
why.
I have to turn it off because I'll see a video that agrees with what my opinion is, and I go, like you said, I go right to the comments to see what people have to say against
Mm-hmm.
it. Because you watch, there's been, you know how it is. You go on TikTok and you watch a video and be like, oh, they're going to have a field day with this in the fucking comments.
Right to the. I
It's
break
usually about
I
Trump or
break
something.
my foot on the way to the comments.
That's right.
I try to get there so fast.
Yep, I get in there and you just read some of the stupidity in there on both sides, on my side, on their side. Everybody's got it's, and then it comes to the point I'm like, I just got to turn this shit the fuck off because it's going to make
It
me
would never
angry
end.
over
You could
nothing.
just go forever.
Right.
You could just.
Right.
You could
and there's people on one side that aren't going to believe the people on the other, and vice versa. So there's no winning any way.
It's not
you
worth
look
my
at it.
effort. It's not worth my breath. What is going on?
I got a hair.
Growing right out of it?
No, it's
Holy shit!
It ain't actually. There wasn't one there, but
I hope the mouse pissed.
you know how
right
when
on
you
that.
go
You're
down there
close to it.
sometimes and there's like a hair and you got to get it out. That's what I felt like. I kept touching my lip.
Well, it's either there or your balls, according to Scully. So
Yeah, or between your balls. What do you
Yeah.
say between your
balls or behind
something?
your balls
I
or
don't
under your
know. Yeah,
balls?
I can't remember. It's in the intro to one of them.
But yeah, that was funny.
Anyway, so that's cancelization and social media bullshit.
That ain't going anywhere though.
Everybody knows this shit. Most of them all think the same thing anyway.
Exactly.
Have you learned anything about the metaverse?
No, I haven't even really paid attention to it.
Somebody bought
the only time I hear about it is when you bring it up. To be honest with you,
So I'd like to learn more about it. I don't like it, but I'd like to learn more about it to find out what's going on. But the last thing I heard that somebody paid either $475,000 or $675,000 for, I believe, a plot of land, virtual land, or however this works, next to something that Snoop Dogg owned in the metaverse.
are you kidding me?
No,
They paid real cash money.
real money.
They're
To have
harder-
this property, land, I don't know what they call it, but it's in this metaverse, and it happened to be next to a piece that Snoop Dogg
Those are
owned.
the people that are the problem.
Let me
in this
see if I
world.
can find that.
Those are the people that are the problem in this world that do stupid shit like that. They're the ones that are trying to cancel Jingle Bells because they have nothing better to do. Obviously, I'm not spending $675,000 of my money to buy a virtual piece of fucking land. I'm going to go buy a real piece of land.
Right. I guess you can make money in there now. I don't know, but this land, I don't know if it's going to be. Let me
That's
look up.
ridiculous. I didn't even hear about that. I can't believe some of the shit people do. I don't. That's the shit right there, though. You see that? It literally almost. I just shake my head. It's like, what are you kidding me? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, here's one. I'm just read the title quick. Snoop Dogg fan. Oh, here it is. This is the exact one. I was off by the numbers a little bit, but this is the exact one. Snoop Dogg fan pays $450,000 to become his metaverse neighbor. Snoop Dogg is one of the latest rappers to join the metaverse, and even in this,
How are people joining this yet if it doesn't exist? I didn't even.
well, I guess this is what they're getting on it quick. You know what I mean? To get ahead of the game, I
yeah.
guess, or maybe I don't know a whole lot about it. People have to pay the cost to be near the boss, it says, joining heavy hitters such as Adidas, Atari, and Dead Mao 5, whatever that is. The Dogfather has been developing his own interactive world in the Sandbox, an Ethereum-based platform for creating and monetizing online hangout spaces and gaming experience. So to me, it sounds like people are basically opening virtual clubs now.
I was just going to say, what's going to happen, then it'll be, so when this thing comes out or whatever, whether it is or it isn't, whatever, it could be like, okay, you can come hang out at my piece of land next to Snoop Dogg, but you got to pay me a $50 cover charge.
Yep.
So then you got to pay this guy $50 to go. Yeah, dude. I'm gonna be at my buddy's shop drinking beers in the garage like actual humans do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna be behind my computer in a virtual fucking reality land.
Yeah.
Because I'm next to Snoop Dogg.
Well, hopefully we're gone and our children are gone before we have to worry about people. You know, it's going to come to a point where people just aren't going to do that. You're going to have no garages to go to. You're not going to have no beer to drink because it's all going to be in this fucking metaverse.
How do you think that would go away?
Well, if it gets big enough, look at there's a TV in everybody's house. When TVs first came out, there was people that said, "No, fuck them things. They're for the devil. We ain't getting a television." Now there's a TV in every fucking house.
Yeah, but you know, even as people get older, some of the stuff you instill in your kids or whatever will stick through them throughout their life type deal. Like morals were like, so you might. Our kids will grow up.
That's why I say it's not going to be next month.
My kids might grow up and they'll be like, no, I don't give a fuck what's on this computer screen.
Hopefully.
I want my own house and my own garage on 10 acres of land and a four-wheeler to ride.
But how are we doing with that? My kids play video games all day. Your son is on the fucking tablet all day. You know what I mean? How are we doing? It's that simple to lose at that battle, I think. And it's going to come to a point, my kids, and eventually your son will be at that age where, you know, when they're 16, 17, we can't get, well, if that's what you want to do is sit on that thing all day, what can I say to you? You're almost an adult now. I can't wait till he's 16, 17 because then I can kick his ass. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I could now, but I'll get in trouble for it.
Yeah, it's different now. Now it's child abuse.
It's like, yeah, you're a tough guy. You beat up an 8-year-old. Mind your fucking business.
Once they're 18, it's a bar fight.
Yeah, mind your business, Milwaukee.
The aptly titled Snoopverse is where the West Coast OG is currently building a voxel art version of his real-life mansion in Diamond Bar, California, where he'll be throwing private virtual concerts, parties, art gallery exhibits, and more. Excuse me. In addition to offering exclusive NFTs, such as Snoop Dogg avatars and souped-up cars, the Snoopverse gives people the chance to buy virtual land. The first round of real estate featuring 122 plots of land, 67 plots of premium land, and 3 estates.
So is that money going to Snoop Dogg or to the metaverse?
I don't know. I imagine the metaverse has got to get some type of a payment for it, unless it's all advertising or something.
Think. Of course, Snoop Dogg's big enough. He's getting a piece of that pie somehow.
Went on sale last week, and there was one hotspot that got snapped up for a hefty fee. According to Rolling Stone, one NFT collector spent $450,000 on a virtual plot of land in the Snoopverse on Friday, December 3rd.
See, they're calling it Snoopverse, so I wonder if that's what...
I'm starting to wonder if there's like the metaverse, and then you buy like the Snoopverse, which it explained had 122 plots of land in it, 67 plots of premium land.
That's what I mean. So did the money go to him then? Or?
So we could do like the back and forth verse and have a couple of, depending on how much money we wanted to spend, and have, not that we would give a shit, but just the point of it.
Well, if you total up both our bank accounts right now, we'd probably be able to get a plot of land shit at least probably $5.50.
Sure.
At least.
I can see how this is becoming a thing, though. As much as you and me don't agree with it, if it came to the point, it almost runs...
I wouldn't say that I don't agree with it. Like, I see what it is. I'd imagine it could be cool and interesting. I can tell you right now, there's no way in hell, even if I could afford it, that I would pay $450,000 for
outrageous.
a virtual piece of land. If I have $450,000 to spend, I'm buying an actual physical piece of fucking land.
Right. Imagine you got to be pretty rich to buy a metaverse.
I play like chess online, so I've spent like $1.99 to buy some coins to keep playing. So I've spent my real money on a game essentially.
Right, but not $450,000
on a fucking
house.
virtual piece of land. Think of the piece of land and house you could have for that kind of money.
Sure.
Of course, maybe that person already does have a beautiful home.
I got to assume that they're pretty well off to be able to make that decision.
But it's not that I don't necessarily agree with it. I just don't agree. Like, that's silly. That's crazy. That's a lot of money for a virtual piece of land.
But think of this show. So this is where I kind of change a little bit about it. Again, I think like you do about it. But I can see how people are almost going to be forced into this, especially creators or people that have their careers on the internet or something. Now, what if everybody podcasts stopped? Well, they didn't stop, but say podcasts went to the metaverse. So now you got Joe Rogan.
Let's see what you're
sits in a building, and you all came to this building. I don't know exactly how it works, but this is what I'm assuming, to watch his podcast, and that's the only way you could do it. Well, that right there is going to jump. Look at there's 40 million views on that one
either
video.
you're gonna pay
so
to
you're going to
get
get
into
at least 10 million people that are going to pay to go into this metaverse to come watch his show in person, not in person, reality, but in virtual reality person. You actually go there and watch the show. Now, if all the other podcasts in the world did that, except for us, we'd be fucking long forgotten. We'd be in the dust. So it's almost like I see how they would force people.
Well, this isn't our retirement.
If you want to
plan,
stay
so.
relevant, you have to almost stay. Granted, this ain't gonna. I don't think we're gonna have to worry about this. I think we'll be gone before it comes to that stage. But I can see how in future generations, it's gonna be nothing. Look at how it is now. We don't believe in Facebook and think it's trash, but we have a Facebook page because that's what you do now. Mm-hmm. In order to get your name out there and shit.
Agreed.
So I guess
to
what I'm
make
saying
yourself
is,
grow and stuff.
if it comes to the point where almost Facebook, Instagram, all that's phased out, and the new thing is metaverse. It's almost like you got to keep up or you get fucking flushed out.
However, agreed. Case but the person you're talking to, they're not being forced in it no matter what. They don't give.
That's true.
No matter what, I don't give a fuck. I don't have a Facebook. I don't give a shit what I'm supposed to keep up on or not. I'm not having one. Mm-hmm. Their life seems to be fine. So I agree with what you're saying. Kind of be forced.
I actually, boy,
but at the same time, people can do it. People do it. She's not the only one that doesn't have a Facebook. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Scully's girlfriend there or whatever?
Yep, she doesn't have it either.
You know what I mean? And
she's probably better off for it.
That's only 2 people. I'm sure there's millions out there that probably don't.
There's some benefits, I think, to this metaverse that I can see being a possibility. I don't know if I would ever jump on board, but I can see that creating jobs, believe it or not just on the people that program and make it, but if they're going to make these things as real life in virtual reality as possible, you're going to need like virtual bouncers. I mean, think about it. You open
want
this,
it to be real life, then
this
I guess,
virtual club, but not even that. It comes to a point where you're going to need people to kick people out that are causing trouble. Well, they're not going to do that for free. So people are going to start making money to go onto their virtual world and bounce or bartend or whatever the fuck it is.
Law & Order SVU had a show about this virtual reality world. Mm-hmm. It's SVU. It's not off topic because we're talking about it, but it made me, now you just said that, I got thinking, well, I could see that though, because what happened is this girl got raped in this virtual world, but ultimately what ended up happening is the guy that did it found her in real life and then raped her or whatever.
Right.
And that's how it came about. But yeah, I could see what you're saying. Can have cops and all sorts.
Say you open a virtual advertising company and back and forth we don't want to go into the metaverse, but we want our name in the metaverse. So we pay somebody to make a billboard, per se, quote unquote, in the metaverse so that people in this metaverse would go to Snoop Dogg's club and see back and forth on their wall. We're going to have to pay for somebody for that, so I could see that money going somewhere. You're going to have to pay somebody to create that in the metaverse, so there's somebody
to actually build it in that world.
Right, it's almost like virtual reality marketing. You're going to need virtual reality marketers. They're going to have to go into that world, so I can see, and they ain't going to do it for free. Marketing's marketing, whether it's in a virtual world or not, so there is some things I can see would carry over to a virtual world that would be needed as a real life
I see it
career.
I see it being bad though, because with the hackers, that's going to be a real easy way for people to hack shit.
Oh yeah,
they're going to have a fucking field day with.
Especially when you start putting that type of money into this stuff. You can't tell me there's not somebody in there thinking, how could I have cut that $450 off before it even made it to Snoop Dogg and just put it in my fucking account?
I guarantee you, there's tons of people out there that can do it and will do it.
Oh sure,
guaranteed.
Yep,
no questions asked.
We know one of them that probably could. I will not say that name, but I think you know who I'm talking about. Is real
exactly
good with that
who you're
stuff.
Talking about.
I don't know if he knows that much about that. That's
sure.
a whole new thing, but I'm sure he could figure it out with his knowledge of shit.
Probably wouldn't take him long.
No.
If he couldn't already do it.
Yeah. So
I don't know. It's
anyway,
crazy.
I see some benefits for it. I see a lot of downfalls, and I see it could cause a lot of trouble. Now you're gonna. All right. So here's another thing. Now you start having trouble in here, you're going to need some type of a virtual reality law enforcement.
Well,
not to physically grab somebody and put them in, but you're going to need somebody to keep track of these laws in this metaverse, that somebody isn't stealing money from somebody else. Well, now all of a sudden it's almost like it's kind of comical in a way. It's almost like you need a metaverse.
It's like one big video game is what it's sounding like to me. If
yeah, so now you need somebody to enforce that law. You got to pay him or her, and then I don't know. I don't know how deep it could get.
Did you just assume that there's only going to be a him and her in this metaverse? There could be it's and she-its and all sorts of things.
Theys?
Did you just assume?
Yeah.
That's offensive.
Well, I'm old school. I'm too.
Way to get us canceled.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, you're racist and sexist and all that. Thank you.
Now I'm racist too now all of a sudden?
Oh, fuck yeah. You got a black shirt on, bud. Good. It was good knowing you guys.
Oh, that's true. I forgot. I was mocking blacks with this black clothing.
We're fucked. We are fucked.
yeah.
You're getting us canceled immediately.
Well, I'm sorry.
We had a good run. What do we got? 19, 20 episodes in.
This will be 20. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Well, this one probably won't. Well, it might make the air.
it'll make it for a little while before they shut it off.
Yeah. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Well,
Oh, my God.
anyway,
What's
you know,
this
I see a lot of stuff that reverses racism though on TikTok. There is some good on social media. Not very much. I think 90% of it's bad, but there is some.
You know
good.
what I like to see on there. Speaking of that, maybe what you made me think of it is you'll see like the black people on there or whatever, the African American. They'll come on there and they'll say, like, so somebody will post something and there'll be people like, that's fucking racist, and then like a black person will come on there and go, what the fuck are you talking about? You're
Right.
you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
I'm
the
literally
fuck
a
up.
black person, and that's not offensive to me. So you're
Right.
you're just making shit up.
That's kind of what I was getting at along the
Or
lines.
when somebody posts something like, you know, say you or I posted something, and then you get the white person that comes on there though to try to be like the hero.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh my God, that's so racist, you fucking piece of shit. Like they're the hero saving the world.
Right.
And then you get a black person come on there and be like, shut up, dude, you're a fucking idiot. That's not even racist.
Yeah, or they
I
joke
love-
around. They
yeah,
joke around back with. Like,
Yeah, I love that.
I think that's what Morgan Freeman was saying. Like, if you just kind of act like it's not there, I know we don't want to ignore it because it is a problem. But if you don't keep bringing it up and turning it into this giant thing, this sore thumb that's sticking in everybody's face, it's almost like it just goes away. And I think
Take
that's
the
kind of
TV
what I
out of
meant
your house. That'll eliminate
about
a
the
lot.
positivity on some social media. It's like you can see that there is some good people left out there that just don't buy into the whole narrative of it. Like, if you don't hurt me, I don't hurt you. That's what I've said all along. I don't care what color you are. If you like me, I like you. Everybody, it's who to give.
I think there's probably more good people than bad out there.
I do.
And I also think there's people, kind of like I think of myself, you're probably similar though, is basically
assholes.
I don't eat, well, that.
So there's good people and assholes.
Yeah.
All right.
But you see a lot of this nonsense. I don't really pay. I mean, obviously we talk about it on here. It's something to talk about and this and that. But I really typically don't pay much attention to it. Like I don't let it offend me. I don't care about it one way or the other. Like I'm not going to even get wrapped up in the bullshit. Like you'd be like, that's racist. But I just skip it. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. Carry on. I don't even give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to get involved in it because I'm just going to mind my own business. I got my own bills to pay, my own life to live, my own family to take care of. I don't give a fuck what Tommy thinks of fucking Susie or whatever the case may be.
Sure.
It's got nothing to do with me. I don't give two fucks.
Yep.
Quite honestly, even if it is racist, I still don't say anything. I'm still not getting involved because it doesn't involve me.
Right.
I'm not going to save the world as one guy. So
Well, that's the way I look
I'm just
at it.
going
I
to live
don't
my
know
life
the
and mind my fucking
problems.
business.
I don't know the problems that people that black people have gone through in their life, or any race really, for that matter. So who am I to come on here and pick sides? I don't
One way
know.
or the other. Yeah, what the fuck? We don't.
I mean, if it's something blatantly, an asinine comment towards somebody of a different race, I can understand that. But
but even then, I still wouldn't get involved. Like I
like
said.
this rock thing, I don't know enough about that. I ain't gonna take sides in that. I think it's ridiculous that we're getting rid of a not. But if you prove me wrong, all right, I'll be on your side then. I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. I just stay the fuck out of it.
Even if you prove
Kinda.
me wrong, though, I'd still be like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just because it is.
Well, you're racist then.
Apparently, against rocks.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm racist against rocks.
Let's do the hypothetical thing. We're going on an hour.
Let's fucking do it.
Hypothetically speaking,
Let's say, hypothetically,
Hypothetical.
let's say you've been a bad girl.
Hypothetically, if like you were naked, I was naked.
Okay, hypothetically speaking, right? Would a moose have sex with me if I gave it $10 million?
Let's say, hypothetically, you've been a naughty girl.
I will tell you, I've noticed you're getting a lot better at writing down times of key things that you want to either put in the intro or do something with the editing.
Well, there's too many times on a 2-hour-long show where I'm like, where was that? Remember we talked about that funny thing?
That's why I was like, start writing it down. And we've talked about it for a while, but you just don't even. But I noticed the last 2-3 shows, you're like right on it.
Well, sometimes
just
if
be
we
saying
say
middle
something
of
interesting
talking.
that I want to put into the intro, the one thing I wish you would write down some stuff where you make fun of me, because what happens is it seems so lopsided in the intro, because obviously I said it so I can remember these things. So I put them in it, and I can't remember where, but I want to be fair and have.
If I say something funny like you're a fucking asshole, you just look down real quick. Okay, at 12:22, he said I'm a fucking asshole.
Yeah, but don't you want to put things in that you think are funny? I might think something's funny, and you think that was dumb.
We're pretty
I said
similar.
That.
If you find it funny, I'm pretty sure I do.
We ain't
and if,
similar
and
at
if
all.
I'm making
We're about
fun,
50 pounds difference.
Rest assured, if I'm making fun of you, I think it's hilarious. So.
Well, let's write that down. Then.
Yeah, let's write that.
Just to make it seem fair.
Yeah, just so, because you really give a fuck about being fair. But whatever, hey, if you want to try to make it look good for the people, then
that's all it is. It's just just to make it look like it's fair. Let's see. I already did that one. Would you rather only be able to sext or only be able to have Zoom sex? So it's kind of hand in hand, but sexting, let's take that as
Zoom is video, correct?
Right, where
Zoom.
let's take, we kind of call it the same thing like when you're on Snapchat or if you're sending dirty pictures on Snapchat, we kind of just assume that's sexting, but let's take sexting as just type.
Zoom.
So you'd rather be able to see them?
100%.
Yeah.
We already talked about that last show. I can't get excited if I want to enjoy it. If I'm into that, how am I going to get excited? We just talked about it this show about you can't understand everything through talk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, if they text you, I want to fuck you. Well, I get it that they probably want to fuck me. You know what I mean?
But don't mean as much.
I want to see it when they're sitting there half naked and saying, I'm like, okay.
I would almost think the girls would pick the sext over Zoom. And the reason I say that, and correct me if I'm wrong, ladies, but I almost feel like men are more what is the word? More sight oriented. Like we have to see it, to get turned on about it, where women are more emotional about it. Mm-hmm. So like a good story will get them. I mean, think about it. Some of these women, they'll read novels about these love stories and these sex scenes and stuff. And I mean, 50 Shades of Grey started out as a book.
Now look at it. It's huge.
Yeah,
huge.
I think that's because women will typically go more towards the emotional side and it'll turn them on more to read about it. Or guys are just the opposite, I would think. You got one?
Well, yeah, I'm on a different page. I wanted to try and do it like you can do the sexer ones. These are like regular ones.
Okay, well, that's all right. We can mix in whatever.
You can do your page just to try it out, but these aren't as, I don't know, maybe they'll be as good. It's not really a would you rather, but it says, would you take a $70,000 a week job offer where you get paid to sit in a pitch black room and do nothing for 20 hours a day? $70,000 a
Absolutely
week
not.
to sit in a pitch black room and do nothing for 20 hours a day.
No way.
That's a tough one.
No, that's easy for me. You get out, you have 4 hours worth of the day to spend your $70,000. You can't even have a life.
But that's a week, so you got Saturday, Sundays to do stuff. Mind you.
Well, does it say a business week or a week?
Well, it just says a week.
I guess we got to assume it would be Monday through Friday.
Exactly. I'm just going to assume.
So you got Saturday. No, I still wouldn't do it. That's what we were just talking about. I'd rather have happiness over money.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll take a $1,200
to
week.
Be honest with you, it's not
have a life.
It's funny you say it's you get out, you only got 4 hours. I'm thinking about it more to myself, sitting in a totally pitch black room by myself with nothing to do. Like that would mentally fuck you. Is why my reasoning would
tough,
be less than what you're saying about.
Be like in the hole of
once
jail.
I get out, I only got 4 hours to do. I'm thinking, well, no, I got to sit in a whole pitch black room by myself. Yeah. Well, that's because I'm racist. I don't like pitch black rooms. You know what I mean?
It's probably true. Yeah,
but just imagine if this was totally dark up here right now, you're gonna sit here for 20 hours.
Shut the fuck up.
Imagine that.
Yeah, that's I don't.
No, imagine if you would shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, no, I can't imagine that. My thing, I could do it for about 3 fucking days if I knew there was a big money like that.
Totally
at the end
pitch black room though, by yourself.
I could force myself for $70,000 to do that for 3 days.
Fucked up that would
but to
make
do
you?
that every day. Well, the Native Americans used to have this thing where for 4 days we watched it just on the fucking thing. I ended up looking up about that.
Oh, on Yellowstone?
On Yellowstone. Yeah, where you go out for 4 days. I mean, you're in a pitch black room, but it's a lot alike.
It's similar.
You're just sitting out there in the mountain all alone, nothing around you. And they do it for nothing other than clarity in their head. But that's what I mean. So I could probably do it for 3 or 4 days for the money, but week in and week out of that, and absolutely not. I couldn't do it. Money ain't that important to me, I guess. Would you rather have sex on a beach without a towel or a blanket? So you have to just lay right on the sand.
I think we did this one before, but
did we? Maybe.
I feel like it, but
or under a freezing waterfall.
I'd have to go with the beach. I don't want the sand in my ass if I was going to be on the bottom, but I feel like the freezing water would kill the moment, so you wouldn't be able to perform. It wouldn't be enjoyable. You'd be so cold, you'd be shivering. How it wouldn't even.
Well, the best part I thought with the freezing waterfall, the best part is it can't get much smaller than it already is. So it's not like it's going to shrivel away.
So that's fair enough. I could use that.
So keep that in mind.
I could use that for an excuse.
All right.
So
yeah, because it's cold. That's why it's so small.
Yeah, be like this fucking freezing cold water. That's why my pecker's so small. Good thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would probably have to. I would guess I would pick to. I'd rather do it in the sand too.
Yeah.
Sand aside, cold water aside.
I wash it away.
I don't know. Like in a shower, it's a pain in the ass sometimes.
I won't take a cold shower.
Yeah. Well, I used to.
For what?
Because where I was living, the water heater went out one time, and one day I had to take a shower. I was like, I'm taking a shower anyway.
That's when I just washed up.
Well, I jumped in, and did what I had to do, and I started reading about it. A cold shower is actually supposed to be very good for your cardiac
Thinking
system.
about it's kind of almost making me shiver.
Well, and it was rough. The first couple of times I did it, you jump in, and you know how it is when getting
How
cold
fucking
water.
long did you do
freeze
this
the
for? Why
fuck
don't you
up.
just fix the hot water heater?
Well, it did, but then I kept doing it anyway for a little while, for about a week. I kind of gave in on it eventually because it was tough, but I didn't have enough self-control. But they say it's very good for your blood system to do that. And I actually got to the point after about a week of doing it, it wasn't so horrible. And when I got out of the shower, I felt completely 100 times better than when I got out of a warm shower.
Really?
That's the truth, dude. I'm not just saying that for the show. That's the truth between you and me. I didn't continue it because it's rough. But I did see benefits, at least initially. I just felt way better getting out of a ice cold shower. I don't know why.
I don't know. That's weird. I don't think I would enjoy an ice cold shower, but
That's kind of what kept me doing it for a while, I think.
I feel like it would certainly wake you up. I could tell you that.
It definitely did that. Definitely.
I mean, how could it not?
Definitely did that.
What would you eat if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life?
Ice cream.
Are you
wait.
kidding me?
Do I have to be serious about it? Like, do I need nutrients out of it?
Well,
or
it
is
doesn't
just...
fucking say that, but I mean, are you really going to be able to live off of ice cream?
Well, that's what I mean. If you need nutrients and actual things for your body, then I couldn't pick ice cream.
Well, you're saying that like it's a question. Well, do you need nutrients? Do you need?
Well,
them
yeah,
to-
but if that article is about taste, if I had the best tasting
it
thing,
literally
I want,
says what I said. Just what would you eat if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life?
I'd end up fat, but I guess I would have to pick pizza. And the reason I say that is not because it's so good, but I just feel like with pizza, you can get everything you need. You can get vegetables on it. You can get starch. You can get the dairy, like mushrooms. You can get meat on it. You can get almost all the food groups on a pizza. Maybe it's
Literally
not
get
healthy,
pineapple
but,
on the fucking thing.
right. So you can get anything you need on
I was
a
going to
pizza.
say pizza/wings. I guess that's kind of two, but that's my favorite food. Mm-hmm. That and Chinese when I'm hungover, but pizza and wings would have to be my go-to.
Chinese would be up there on my list too, because you can get Chinese with it, like lo mein. That's got meat, vegetables, got all sorts of shit in it. So starch.
I mean, I wouldn't get it because it's going to be healthy or anything. I just get it because I'm fat and I like the taste of it. Love me some pizza and wings.
I don't even know what this is. I'm just going to read this without even looking it over first. If humans lost the ability to see all color except one, which color would you want to survive? Somebody says, tomorrow morning you're going to wake up. You can't see any color. You can only pick one color to see for the rest of your life. Which color is that? And let's leave out white and black because it's, black and white is what, I mean.
I don't know. I feel it's not like it's a hard decision, but I'm just trying to see like what color would I want to see the most, I guess.
Yeah, I think.
I guess it wouldn't it doesn't really matter. If I could only see red, okay, well, I can only see red. Everything else is going to be, you said leave it out, but everything
black or white, yeah.
Yeah,
because you can't see it.
Exactly.
The color of it.
I mean, I would probably go red. My favorite color is red.
I think, honestly, I would pick blue just because the ocean's blue, the sky's blue. Blue is a lot in our life. There's a lot of blue in our life.
It would still bring some life to...
Yeah, you could still go to the ocean, enjoy that. You could still enjoy...
That's a good call.
You couldn't really see a sunset because that's orange and red, but you could still see like a beautiful sky. And the clouds are white anyway, so the sky would basically look the same. I think that would be my pick, just for that reason.
That's not a bad one. That was a good one. That was a good one. Would your partner still want to be with you if they could read your mind? You? Absolutely not.
My partners don't want to be with me even when they can't read my fucking mind.
Well, that's my point.
Actually, that's you know what? In fact, as far as that goes, if they could read why I am the way I am, they'd probably stay with me more. They'd probably understand more. I wish they could read my mind so they could let me know what's going on in it.
You think they would?
Read it one more time.
Would your partner still want to be... This is hypothetical, obviously, like we said, hypothetical section, because we know you don't have a partner or never will. Would your partner still want to be with you if they could read your mind?
I would think so. Because just because they read my mind doesn't mean that they couldn't tell me... They couldn't... I guess it would come down to how much work they wanted to put in. If they read and I said something wrong in my mind, maybe they could change my opinion on it.
I'm going to say yeah, too, on that, only because... Kind of joking, but I'm not. I say whatever's on my mind anyway, so there's nothing in my mind that...
Sure, right.
It makes me an asshole sometimes because I say some shit that I probably should not, but there's nothing in there that nobody would know that I wouldn't say.
I wouldn't say you're over... there's some people that are too honest.
Well, yeah.
Well, I don't know if they're not too honest. Honesty is a good thing, but there's a lot of... I hate to say it, but it's a lot of girls that do this. They come off with this... It's almost like the whole... birth signs thing where girls will be like, oh, I'm not bitchy, I'm just a Pisces or whatever the fuck it is, or a Capricorn, whatever. They blame it on that, and a lot of people will say rude and nasty things And be like, well, if you don't like it, I'm just honest. Well, no, you're just an asshole, and you're playing it off as being honest, so people aren't mad at you.
Excuse.
Right? There's a difference between
honest
being
and
honest and being an asshole, right? You can be honest to somebody and still be nice to them.
Well, because you could tell somebody the truth being honest, but in a nice way.
Right. And some people...
I mean, I wish you, sometimes instead of just telling me I'm a fat fuck, you could be like, well, Bob, just to let you know, you are a little husky, a little overweight, so you may want to consider a diet. You know, so some of that'd be a way. That's why you're an asshole and not an honest person.
Yeah.
Or not a nice, honest person, I should say.
Yeah.
Because of the way you say things.
That's my thing. Maybe I shouldn't even
You
say
do
this.
realize
Maybe I'm being an asshole for saying this.
If I had a heart or any feelings whatsoever, you would hurt them. I want to let you know that.
Really? By the way I am?
You would. Yes. Absolutely. How would you not? You're mean as fuck. What the fuck?
I ain't mean.
Bullshit.
Well, you know, God. Well, you keep coming around, so I'm mean and you're dumb.
These people don't see everything behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, I'm mean and you're
I'm
dumb.
gonna start
then.
saving the. Well, it won't matter. I was gonna say I'm gonna start saving some of the text, and we're gonna put them on our fucking channel so people can see them. But you do the fucking editing, so it'll never make it there anyway.
Yeah, I am an asshole, ain't I?
Yeah.
Now that I think of it.
Yeah, complete control. This is your show. I'm just a fucking.
Right.
I just sit here and just fucking hang out and talk shit for a while.
The world is open. You can learn how to edit, and then you could take over you can start making fun of me.
I ain't got the brains. I ain't smart enough.
Well, that's what I say. I'm
Actually,
an
I take
asshole,
that
and
back.
you're stupid.
You know what? I probably could learn it, but I ain't got the patience. I can tell you that right now.
You know how everything good comes with hard work.
Yeah, well, I ain't got the patience.
So we just let Wes make fun of you for 2 hours.
Yeah, I'd rather you put whatever the fuck you want in there because I ain't got the patience for
Trust
that.
me when I tell you, it's probably worth it to just let me make fun of you than have to fuck with us every night.
I agree.
Actually, that's something we should have brought up. I'll have to put it in the description now, but I wanted to mention this since, well, we can mention it on Monday too, but since I am going back to work now, it's going to be a lot harder to do 2 of these and make the time work.
Quitter.
No. But I'm going to have to move it down to, well, we could still do it then. But I'm telling, like, if you thought I was bossy before, it's going to have to be, you know what I mean? You're going to have to come here exactly when I need. Because the problem of it is like, I'm going to be working till 3:30 at night. I'd have to have you here at 3:30, like 2 nights before, so that we get done by, say, 5:30, 6 o'clock. I can edit for a couple hours, then I can edit the next day for a couple hours and get it uploaded. Because I have to click upload at like 8 o'clock at the latest for this to be on there by midnight.
What we talked about earlier is one episode is the only way to do it.
Yeah,
especially
I think so.
With my work,
or else it would just be too much.
Because my days rotate, and it's only going to be another week or two, and then so I'm not.
So physically,
I'm not going to have much availability either. Well, I will, but you know what I'm saying. My days off rotate, so
physically we can make it work, but it's just not. It's just way too much for what it is. So we're going to have to go down to just Mondays. We've decided. I think we decided. We talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
Mondays. That way you guys can listen to it all week and catch up on it all week. But we're just going to have to switch. So this is going to be the last Thursday episode. Then we're going to get together between now and Monday and do another, just like normal. But the Monday episode is going to release Monday like it would.
But then after that, you're not going to get anything until the following Monday.
Exactly. At midnight still. Everything's going to stay the same with that. We're just going to have to get rid of the Thursday one because I just can't, because, you know.
The only thing we may try to do, it's be a good time to mention, is if we could make it work, we might be able to throw in a couple extras here and there, but that'll be for the Patreon customers, I feel, though. You know, we're only going to do the one a week.
Well, right. If we can get them to release, to be uploaded early enough, maybe like the paid subscribers on Patreon,
we'll give them an extra.
I could put the video on there like 3 or 4 days early if they're that excited about it, and if they're not, they just wait till Monday. No big deal. It doesn't, it doesn't hurt our feelings if you don't do Patreon. But if some people are really interested in this fucking show for some reason, so they might be worth it to them.
This is probably going to sound real bad, but I don't mean it this way. But I feel we're going to do just one a week anyway. It's feasible. That's what's going to work for us. It's easier. But if people want to get on the Patreon, we not only would try to release it sooner to them, but maybe try to get them an extra episode here and there. But that's because they're paying for it. So I don't want to make it sound like, well, we're only going to do it because you're paying us, but at the same time, we kind of are because, well, you're paying for it. So
it's like an incentive.
We want to give you something for what you're paying for.
Make it worth it.
Exactly. So it's obviously worth it to us because you're paying us, but it's also worth it to you because you're getting extra episodes that people aren't going to get.
See, and this is why I'm glad I started that Patreon early. I didn't want to start that because I didn't want people to pay for nothing at this point until we started doing that. But then I got thinking, and I watched other podcasts and other creators on YouTube and stuff. Sometimes people want to just support what they enjoy. You know, sometimes these shows or some YouTubers and stuff, it's worth it to them to throw them a couple bucks here and there. And I'm not right now. This is not a sales pitch. I'm not saying go do it. I don't want this to come off like that. So, in fact, I'm going to say don't do it, just so you don't think I'm trying to get you to buy something. But yeah, some people are like so into something and such a fan of something. They're like, you know what? Here's $10 for doing what you do. Thank you. It gives me entertainment for the day.
Like we said before, though, I think we touched on it. Maybe it was when you started the Patreon originally. Though we said it's not like we're asking for money. Well, we are, I guess, but we're not. We're not begging for it. We're not asking for it. But it obviously betters us and helps us. But it essentially helps and betters them too, because it'll help us do better things. Eventually, get a better camera and stuff. That's stuff it's still going to help them. Right. Obviously, it helps us.
Well, anything that makes it easier on me to edit will make the show better for them.
Well, absolutely.
Because the quicker and the easier and the better I can do the editing and get the show out there and get it uploaded and get it and this and that and the material that we put into it, just the more. So it's going to help us both.
It's going to help everybody as far as I'm concerned.
So I guess what I'm getting with that is I'm not trying to sell or I'm not telling you go do it. But I think for now the Patreon is more or less just if you really enjoy the content we're doing and it's entertaining to you and you feel like quote unquote donating some money towards it, then that's up to you. If you don't, I don't care. I'm not pissed. Doesn't matter to me.
Thing of it is
but in the future, it might turn into something if you're involved in that.
Benefit you.
We're right. You might get the if we can make it work. I don't know. I can't. I'm not making any promises. But
just think. My thinking is if that takes off, though, people do that. That opens up more doors for us, though, too. If we, I mean, this is just hypothetical, though. Down the road, if we did like a trivia thing and somebody won something, now we
have some cash that we can make hats or make koozies or whatever to give them.
That's what I was just going to say. Right. T-shirts, hats, koozies, hoodies, you name it. It just opens up the doors for us, so we can do a lot. So that'll be better for them.
What it is we're not.
You've had people ask you about merch already.
Yes,
and we're not able to do it right now, unfortunately.
Right. Just because it's
just not going to happen. It's I would love to. I really would. To be honest,
I made 25 hats for my other channel. It cost me almost $500. Yeah. So it's not like
and then you only made like 50 cents on a hat or what?
Right. By the time it got done, I ended up making more money than I spent. But I think a total I made like $25 in profit off of that.
I mean, so you do that. It still makes you feel good. I still see people wearing.
It was 500.
I still see people wearing your hats around. So
I do too.
It's a good
cool feeling. Yep.
It was. I'm sure it was worth it, but at the same time, it's like that was a lot of money to put up.
With that came down, and again, it's the same with this. I'm not trying to make money off those hats. I'm not trying to make money off the Patreon.
But
it's more or less just a break-even thing. It's all like the hats thing was almost like a thank you. I knew I wasn't going to make a whole lot of money, but I also needed it to be paid for, so it wasn't costing me money. The only
thing I feel about it, I guess, is everybody's got to understand nobody works for free. Mm-hmm. So even I know what you're saying, and yeah, it's like a thank you and break even, but you want to make a little, even if it is only $20, you got to make something.
Nobody, in this case, nobody it kind of benefits listeners, really, like we were just saying. It makes it we can do merch. We can, another thing we'd like to do is open up our own phone line, a simple, cheap phone line.
So people could call right in.
Right now, we can't do that with our phones because our phone number would spread like wildfire eventually.
But that's what I mean. If we get all this, you do like that trivia thing. Hey, we ask a question. If we were doing like a live thing, they could call in right now, almost like a radio show.
Right, we'll announce the winner on the next show. Whoever won, we'll mention them on the show, and then we'll send them a free T-shirt or whatever the fuck
it'll open a lot for us and for the listeners as well.
Yep. And on top of that, they might get content that you wouldn't normally get on the regular on YouTube or on Spotify. Or something like that. Anyway, this money, I guess long story short, is we're not putting this money into beer on a Friday night at a bar. It's for the show. Actually, it's for beer for the show.
Not to mention, anybody listening, you realize Christmas just happened? I got fucking rent due. So could you fork up some money pretty quick here? And I got to get something for dinner tonight for the kids. And, I'd really appreciate $5-10, anything you could do. If I could get maybe some bread, a loaf of bread, and a jug of water or something would be
Is it getting that rough?
Oh, it's rough.
Yeah.
Whew.
What do we got? I'm
so fucking poor I can't afford to pay attention.
The metaverse thing, the thing. Shower thoughts. 17 shower thoughts. These may or may not be dirty. They're not supposed to be dirty, but there might be a little bit in there. We've kind of, if you guys have noticed, if it's shower, we don't mind talking about dirty stuff,
thoughts, but they are dirty.
Well, not necessarily. Look at number 1, shower thought. The probability that your parents actually wanted you is the highest when you are an adopted kid. It's all things that make you go, wow, good point. That's a shower thought. I call them trucking thoughts because like people think about this in the shower, but when you're a truck driver, you sit in that truck all day and think about this weird shit. Like one of mine was always, how do ants, like if you fell off the roof of this house, you'd probably break a leg or something. But an ant, you could drop it off the roof of the house and it would just walk away like nothing ever happened. That's always mine.
That and how strong they are. They can carry.
Yeah, but think about anything. Let's think about a flea then or something. They can fly, so that don't. But you get what I'm saying. Like, how do bugs not break their bones when they fall off?
Maybe they do, and they just walk away and go to the bug doctor, and you don't know it because you don't follow them.
That's true.
You're not going to follow an ant around to see if he went to the fucking vet to get his leg fixed.
Yeah. I got to assume he didn't, but you never know.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
You can't assume nothing this day and age.
Mm-hmm.
You know what big one that gets me? Speaking of those animals, though, and you know it too. You walk in the middle of a fucking field.
Spider web.
Yup, wham. We'll go behind your house right now. Big open fucking yard, massive. No, nothing around you. You dead center of it, you get a spider web in your face. How?
Right.
What's he do? Attach it to this tree here, come down, climb, crawl fucking 500 feet.
I know a guy did a TikTok just like that.
What?
What do you go climb up the tree and down the thing?
Oh,
hang on a second. Keep going. I'll keep explaining your thing. I'll find it.
But anyway, so what do? Attach it to this side, get down, crawl 500,000 feet, whatever they do, and attach to another tree. How the fuck do they do that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it drives me nuts. I have literally been in the middle of a field and got a cobweb. The grass was, normal. It was just a huge, massive field, and I got a cobweb in my face. How?
It's a mind fuck. So here I did a TikTok about this exact.
Oh, you did? Oh, it was you.
In fact, what you said about the spider web, I did almost identical.
Have you ever wondered why when you leave water out overnight, it doesn't taste as good the next?
No, but I have wondered why bugs can fall off of buildings and not break their legs or die. If I fall off a step ladder that's 10 foot high, I break both legs.
You won't even go on a
These
step
things
ladder.
can fall off of a 10-story building and be just fine. Also, I wonder why when you're walking through a field, you can get a web in your face. The spider doesn't climb up a tree on one side of the field, hook his web, climb down, cross the field,
I swear to God, I've not seen that, though.
And attach it. Word for word, exactly what you said. That's why I thought you heard that. And
I
said
swear
it
to
from
God,
there.
on my kids, I didn't. If
That's
I
why I
didn't
brought it
remember
up.
it. But
yeah, those are actually in that TikTok. I was driving along. It's just shit that comes up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make a TikTok about this because I've actually always wondered this.
I will tell you that you'll never fall off a step ladder because you won't fucking go up it.
Mm-hmm.
I literally get the call, Bub, got new stuff to hang. So you got the ladder there, go hang it. But I ain't going on that fucking ladder.
Because I'll break my fucking legs. I explained it right there in that TikTok.
Oh, my God.
10-foot step ladder, you break your
We
legs.
often clean our homes when people are coming over so we can maintain the facade of a clean house.
Facade,
facade. I can't fucking read, I can't talk. Leave me the fuck alone. Of a clean house that we've seen from going to other people's homes who clean their house to maintain the facade of having a clean house.
This is all shit after you read it. To me, anyway, I read it, I'm like, wow, fucking mind blown. Holy shit.
Mind equals blown.
Yeah, we often clean our homes when people are coming over so we can maintain the facade of a clean house. That basically just comparing to the next part. You want
trying to keep up with the Joneses.
That's it.
I'll be honest with you, I have mine clean though, just because, well, I'm not a dirty person to begin with, but I don't want anybody to think I am. Even though, like,
that's exactly what they just said.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I agree with it, though. But, well, I think they're saying, though, basically, if I come over here and your house is clean, I got to clean mine because you keep a clean house.
We ain't got to worry about that.
I know. It is similar, but it's more so, even if you came over, I was like, well, my house is a mess, Bob, but you're welcome to come down. You come down, you'd be like, you consider this a mess? Well, yeah, I do. I fucking OCD and shit. I don't like it. But I don't want anybody to think I'm a fucking slob, even though I'm not. I don't want anybody to think that.
The asteroid that ended the dinosaurs was technically the highest ratio of killing birds to one stone in Earth's history. You know, they say kill two birds with one stone. Well,
they killed more than two.
By mathematics, this was the highest in history.
The 10 years between 25 and 35 are far shorter than the 4 years between 14 and 18.
I don't understand that.
Me either. That's why I'm trying to...
The only thing I can think what that means is that when you're 25 to 35, life moves quicker maybe or something.
I was just going to... It seems like it's going faster.
Or something. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess 14, then you... Well, yeah, I guess I could see that.
I guess that's like they say when you turn 70 and then you turn 75, it felt like yesterday you were 70.
Well, when you're 14, you hit 18, you used to be able to, get in the clubs, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Once you hit 18... The next one's 21, but after that, what the fuck? Nothing matters.
Now life takes off. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that one completely.
Maybe midlife crises aren't really a crisis at all. The person has just reached a point in their life when they can do what they want and don't care what anyone else thinks. The people who are upset by it is just mad that their opinion doesn't matter.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Especially this day and age.
So you buy a bunch of weird shit and you're going through a midlife crisis. But in reality, it's the person that can't buy that shit or doesn't buy that shit that's got the problem.
You're buying a bunch of shit because you don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks, and that's what you want.
I kind of like this. I'd like to find more of these for next time.
Well, it came off the chive. That's pretty good right there anyway. The chive's always good. Being bored in your own house is somehow better than being bored at someone else's house. Absolutely agreed.
Yeah, just more comfortable. Because I can do what I want at my house.
I was just going to say, because I noticed that even when you come down, you start to get bored a little bit. You're like, oh, I'm going to go, Bob. I could see why, though.
And you're probably thinking in your mind, you ain't going to do nothing more at home than you are here.
But it's different to come here and sit on your own couch and watch Netflix than it is to be.
Yep.
If you get tired because you're bored,
it's even the little
get up,
things.
Go to bed.
I have the control over things. When I'm at your house, I can't just grab the fucking remote and be like, no, we're watching this now. But when I'm home,
you're not supposed to, but you do.
I do. Well, that's because you're an asshole.
First thing you do, you come in, you don't even
got any snacks?
Your shoes might not even come off yet, and you're already in the fridge taking fucking whatever food, snacks, Bub, you want a beer? You got 2 in here. Well, no.
Well, I wouldn't normally, but somebody left a $200 fucking tip, so now I'm poor.
Yeah, okay.
You got to feed me.
You've done it long before that to me.
It makes more... Did I just read the last one, or did you?
I did.
Oh. It makes more sense to inherit maternal surnames since you can't always be sure who the father is, but you can always be sure who the mother is. It's a great point.
Absolutely. She gives birth. It's pretty easy to say. That's
There's
your mom.
no... But when a baby's born and you give it the father's last name, it's like... We don't really know 100% if it's the father's or not.
Well, I mean, some do, some don't.
Most typically it is, but I get what they're going after.
It depends on if mom's a whore or not.
Right.
Basically.
Yep, I get it, though.
Costco-sized boxes of condoms are anti-family packs.
Yep, that's cool. I get it.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's short and sweet, simple. I like it.
Yeah.
Dads tell cheesy jokes not because humor gets worse with age, but because the more life experience you have, the more value you place on anything that might make someone laugh, even if it's at your own expense.
True. I'm a funny person. I give that. I don't care if somebody's making fun of me as long as people are laughing.
Looks aren't everything. Looks aren't everything.
I don't give a fuck as long as people are laughing. That's probably one of the only things I got going for me is the fact that I'm funny and I can make jokes and make people laugh.
And that fucking beard between you and Harry.
You ever seen the fucking TikToks? Funny guys are dangerous. You're hanging out, they're making you laugh. Boom, next thing you know, you're naked in bed. So I'll watch it. Okay? You better watch it. High school bands show school spirit by going to football games and supporting the team. But football players don't show school spirit by attending band concerts and supporting the band members. That's because the football players are too cool.
They're probably too busy, too.
I think it's more because they think they're too cool.
Probably. Fucking jocks. A Viking could have excavated a T-Rex skull and claimed to have slain a dragon, and no one would have doubted it. Sure, they didn't even know what the fuck dinosaurs were back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, imagine that. You're a Viking. There's no TV, no computer, no nothing. Basically, even no news. I mean, there is, but no nothing. I walk into the fucking castle that you're sitting at and be like, see this? And you'd be like, what the fuck is that? It's a dragon. How could you fight me on it? All right, I guess so.
With your hair singed, I'll be like, it got me with a little bit of breathing fire, but I got him.
Right, I got him.
I got the best.
I can make up that whole story. You'd be like, oh, I guess I got to believe you. I can't. I don't know any otherwise.
If a tree fell in the woods and nobody was there to see it, did it really fall?
Right.
Huh? We all probably have a talent for something that we didn't try yet.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's why you got to try new things.
Yeah.
You don't know until you try it.
Yep.
So if you don't like fat guys, pick me.
I could tell you he's got no talent in that fucking department.
Yeah, okay.
People who jog on the roads in the dark, wearing dark clothing and no lights,
idiots,
are racist.
Yeah,
no, I'm just kidding.
Are stupid.
Yeah. People who jog on the roads in the dark, wearing dark clothing and no lights or reflectors are a unique combination of a person who cares about their health and well-being and doesn't care about their health and well-being.
Absolutely. Or they're just they care so much about their health and well-being that they're idiots when it comes to safety.
Yeah, I got to be healthy. I got to live long, but I'm not going to put any reflective stuff on because I don't care if I live long.
It's funny, though, and then that happens. It'd be like, how did, you get hit by a car or something, God forbid. It's like, well, how'd they get hit? Well, because they got nothing on. I didn't see them. That's how they got fucking hit.
You'd be so surprised with my driving career. You'd leave the shop in the morning at some awkward, and this has happened. This is true shit, and other drivers probably have known this. 4 o'clock in the morning.
There'll be somebody jogging.
Pouring rain out in the middle of the night, driving down the road. Yeah, there'll be somebody on the white line jogging with all black clothes, I'm like, you got to be. It's come to the point where it's almost like you tried so little that even if I did hit you, At what point does it become your fucking fault for not? It's 4 o'clock in the morning, pouring rain. You're wearing all black. I can hardly see the road anyway.
You were asking for it,
right? Yeah. At that point,
you deserve
be
to be
fucking
a hood
manslaughter. It's got to be.
You deserve to be a hood ornament at that time.
Yeah. Yep. But it's. I've seen it. I've seen it. I'm sure a lot of people, a lot of listeners have too.
Fucking dummies.
Yep.
Humans cannot even live in harmony with their own species and somehow still convince themselves that meeting an extraterrestrial species would go smoothly.
Yeah, right. Imagine.
That's how fucked up we are.
Yep. People who can properly handle lottery winnings are the least likely to buy lottery tickets.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great point. Yep. Yeah, they ain't gonna waste their money on the shit.
I was just gonna say they're too cheap, or they're frugal with their money. They're not gonna spend it. They're just, fuck this.
I guess that's the last one.
And that's that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like them. That was awesome. We're at an hour and 31 minutes. We didn't take a break, which I'm all right with. We did that last time, and it's kind of, we come to the point where we can just smooth right through this shit.
Yeah.
Let's do the sex segment. Get that over with.
Penetration. And allow the orgasm to happen.
I want to fuck.
Penetration.
You're in more dire need of a blowjob than any white man in history.
If I had to choose between oral sex and birthday cake, oral sex would always win.
Birthday cake.
I love this part right here.
Maximum amount of pleasure.
Right here. Just walking down a sidewalk, go to a disco.
What's this cup called? A goblet? Is that what the pimps carry? A goblet?
Yep. Goblet. Golden goblet or whatever.
It's funny. We pulled up the same article and didn't even realize it.
I thought we talked about it earlier. No.
Oh, maybe we did.
It's about.
Dude, I swear to God, I can't remember shit.
I'm not even picking on you, but yeah, lately you've been bad with that.
Oh my God, dude, Jamie goes
I wonder
nuts
why.
with me. I don't know what the fuck is going on with me. I cannot remember nothing. I'm not kidding you. I'm 37
Yeah, before
years.
the show, we picked all these things, had them lined up so we could go right in order.
I seriously, I can't say it's old age. I'm fucking 37, but I'm telling you, my memory's shot. But you could ask me, I could be like, yeah, 10 years ago, we got pulled over on the side of the road doing it. I can't remember fucking 7 hours ago sometimes, it feels like.
Maybe you got lead paint in the apartment.
I don't know. I got something. Maybe I shouldn't have ate the lead paint.
Former adult film star Lana Rhoades wants all her videos deleted for the sake of her mental health. Well, that's too fucking bad.
Yeah.
That's no
Guess you should have
different
kept your fucking legs closed.
It's kind of no different than, I mean, I'm sure there is some differences to it. Sometimes I'm sure girls get taken advantage of and stuff, so there is a difference. But it kind of goes along with what we were talking about taking a student loan out. Yeah. You decided,
to be a
knowing
porn star.
damn well when you went into the porn industry that people were going to be able to see you do this. You made that decision. And now what do you? Now you want it? Now you want
the best part of this is I read a little bit of this. I think last week or something. Is that she doesn't own the rights to any of those videos, so she can't do anything about it.
That's right. It's probably the production company that owns them.
She owns no rights, even though it was her and they're her videos and everything. She owns no rights and can do nothing about it. And that's exactly right. That's one of those things. You made that choice. Nobody put a gun to your head and said, you're going to make this porn video. You did it. Now maybe you decided you're older, you don't want to do porn anymore because you can't take any more, your guts get rearranged or whatever the case may be, and you want to become a fucking pastor in the church and you don't want anybody to hold this against you. Well, maybe you should have thought about that before you decided you want to be a porn star.
That's right. I just wrote her name down. I'm going to do a little research on her after the show, after you leave, to really clarify about this porn star. Find out what about her. Just strictly for, informational reasons and educational purposes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah, I'd like to see.
I would start on Pornhub.
Probably the most information I can get from her right there.
The hub's usually pretty good.
Start with anatomy.
But it says former adult film star.
She's hot.
She's not bad looking.
Holy shit.
Lana Rhoades has said she would like all of the explicit scenes she's ever participated in to be permanently deleted.
That'll never happen. There's too many people probably have this shit saved on their phone or whatever.
Exactly.
I don't know.
The 24-year-old who quit the scene a few years ago has become an outspoken critic of the adult industry and admitted that her time working in it left her with lasting mental health issues. Shut the fuck up.
They go, there's two different levels of this. There's a lot of porn stars that say the same thing, that now that they're out of it, it's caused a lot of grief and shit in their life. And there's other ones, and I tried to bring her name up one other episode we had, and I couldn't remember it, and I remembered it, and now I can't remember it again. But, oh God, it was just on the tip of my tongue. I almost said it. Riley Reid. She quit.
She doesn't do porn anymore?
She quit. I think she'll do girl stuff now. But a podcast.
God, I've seen her get fucking annihilated before.
What the hell was
poor
it?
little girl.
Well, she's been in it for a long time. She's been in it since she was like 18, and now she's, 30 or something.
I feel better knowing that we did that one episode, last one or the one before, where we find out that the fucking vagina goes back to its normal shape and size. Because I've literally seen...
if anyone tried that
I have seen
theory,
Riley Reid get absolutely fucking annihilated. I'm thinking to myself, her boyfriend or husband just... she's never going to be the same. She's ruined for life.
She's getting married now, or just got married, or is getting married soon, or something like that. And she's somewhat retired. I guess she'll do it once in a while. She'll do a girl thing, but she was on a podcast. I think it was Call Her Daddy. I think it was that podcast, and she basically said that I have no problems with the porn industry. It was a great career. I made a lot of money. Now I'm done with it, and I'm just moving on with my life.
Two things. Could you ever? Let's start with this first. Could you ever date a girl while she's currently doing porn?
No question. Absolutely not.
Agreed.
I won't date a fucking bartender because I'm worried about too many people Google it, trying to fucking.
I just couldn't do it. I don't care how much money. I don't have. Maybe it's me. Maybe I don't have enough self-confidence to allow her to do that.
I'll tell you right now. I don't have enough. I don't trust enough.
In my head, as fucked up as it is, but we know I've already said, so obviously everybody watches porn or whatever. You watch it, it's great. But if I was to date a girl, in my head, I'm going, nah, she's a whore. Even though I watch fucking porn.
Right.
But in my head, because she's a porn star, I'm thinking she's a whore, so I would never date her. Now, could you ever marry or date somebody that's an ex-porn star?
Nope.
So case in point, Riley Reid or this girl, they're no longer porn stars. Could you date them or marry them?
I still don't think I'm secure enough or whatever it is. I would always... You couldn't go anywhere to a fucking club or to a restaurant or something, and somebody would come out and shake her hand, and the first thing would come through my mind, did she fuck that guy? No. Not that it even matters, because that's the past, but with somebody like a porn star, when you start getting into like the 500, 800 number body count, it's like everywhere you go, did this person fuck her? Did that person fuck her?
We talked before, though, too, my thing is like, some people are into that weird shit. They like letting their husbands do other girls.
Right, I'm sure it's for some people.
But nobody has ever seen my girlfriend's naked. In my head, I'm like, they've never seen her even naked. I don't want never touched her. In my head, that's how it is. That's how I got to make it work in my head. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that's me, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. So to date one of them or whatever, knowing that look at that one person slept with 1,200 people and wants another 1,200 before she's 30.
Oh, the last episode,
you don't stand a fucking... I don't give a shit if you were the hottest girl in the world and you were going to pay me fucking $5 million a week to be with you. I'm not going to be with you because you're a whore in my head. Yep. In my head, even though you may not be, that's what I think.
So I won't say so much as a whore, but there's times where I've seen. For that, I agree with you. But to go on to what I'm going to say here, I don't want to call these girls whores because they're not. But I'll go as far as saying there's girls that I've seen on Facebook just go scroll through like the first 10 or 15 profile pictures and say, no fucking way am I going to be with her, just based on what she's...
Their actions.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that women can't wear skirts or bikinis or whatever. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is if every picture you fucking post is you with your goddamn nipples almost hanging out, you're doing that for a fucking reason. And I'm not going to be with somebody that needs to do that for that fucking reason.
You get the attention from me, you don't need it from everybody else.
I'm not trying to be controlling or whatever, like you need to do it for me only, but I'm just going to stay away from that person because if you're looking for that attention like that, I'm not the guy to get it from that. Go get it from whoever. To me, maybe I'm wrong, but to me, those type of girls are the type of girls that in 6 months, if things don't go right, they've posted so many of those pictures over the course of that 6 months, they'll just grab the next Jim or Tom that comes along, and we get in one argument, it's that much easier for that girl to leave.
Well, I'll tell you with me, and I know this is me, but it's just, I can't change. I don't know. I'm fucked up. It's like if you're with a good-looking girl, well, that you obviously find attractive, that's why you're with them. You want to show that girl, you want to show them off because you're like proud.
Sure.
You're like, wow, look at this.
Right. I'm not saying stay in a cave. I agree.
Like, damn, this girl, look at my girl's hot. I'm a lucky guy. She's beautiful. So you want to show her off. So you go to the beach, she wears a bikini or whatever. At the same time, I don't want her wearing a fucking bikini because I don't want anybody looking at her. So that's how fucked up I am. And then as soon as I catch somebody looking at her, I get pissed off. I get fucked up in the head. And it's not the girl's fault.
I won't go that far. So if we go to like a beach and she's in a bikini, I understand that. That doesn't bother me. In fact, like you said, it's almost like, yeah, that's my girl over there.
You're proud.
I almost I like when guys look at my girl in that situation, but I can't do like if they're in that same bikini and every they put the bikini on in the fucking bedroom and then take a picture of themselves for Facebook and then take the bikini off and post it. That's one thing.
It'd be like one of these though. They get a new bikini. You want to show it off, but they get like I can just picture it. They get like this new bikini. They're say in the bedroom on the bed, and they're on their knees and they're like all spread, and they got like their hand, and they're like, "Look at the new bikini." It's like,
yeah.
You're really. You could just stand in front of a fucking mirror and take a picture.
Do you think blue goes with my hair?
Yeah,
and it's not. That's not why you posted that.
Meanwhile, you got a fucking choker and a leash on, and you're licking your fucking finger.
I've seen this shit before. They have a puppy, and they got a picture of the puppy on the girl's lap, but they got from their neck down to the puppy on their lap, and they're in a fucking bikini top, and it's like, oh, just showing off my new puppy.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Which puppies?
We all know exactly what this fucking picture has been posted for, and it has nothing to do with your fucking puppy.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what I mean. Bikinis don't bother me. None of that bothers me. It's the reason you're doing it. You're not doing it for that fucking puppy. You're doing it for everybody to fucking give you attention, and I don't want to be with somebody like that. And I will say this, too. There is nothing sexier in my mind, and this is the truth. It's not me being prude or all the shit we've talked about. There's nothing sexier in my mind than a girl in a pair of jeans and a fucking hoodie and a ponytail that still looks good. That's real fucking
100%.
beauty right there. When you don't have to put a bunch of makeup on, and there's a time and place for makeup and skirts and all that shit when you're going to weddings or whatever, right? But if you got a bikini on and all this and that, and you look good there, that's one thing. But if you can pull off a hoodie and a pair of jeans or a fucking sweater, like a turtleneck and a pair of jeans and a nice fucking hairdo, that's fucking hot.
That
to
or
me.
same exact concept, but even like sweatpants or something. Like having a bum day though. If a girl looks good, where she can just be like,
oh god, a girl in sweatpants and like a t-shirt in the summer, just got out of bed. That's when girls think they're the worst. They're like, oh no, I just got out of bed. Don't look at me.
They don't realize.
That's why I'm fucking looking at you, because you are sexy
I'm
as shit.
Eat them fucking sweatpants right off of you.
Right.
I'm gonna take them off of my fucking teeth.
Yep.
That's what's gonna happen.
Something else that's going on in this world, and I think it's kind of gone now, but there was this new trend where these girls are doing these like 80s and 60s pants where they go up to halfway up their fucking stomach.
Yeah.
I can't stand that. To me, it made me think of it with the I picture, remember the day, it kind of turned into a whorish thing eventually, but I guess I just look at it different. Girls would have like white sweatpants, black whatever. Would they say like pink on the back of them? And then the tops would be rolled a couple of times, and their hip bone would show above them. Yeah, and they'd have like a loose T-shirt on or something. I'm not even saying I need it like tight to see your ass or nothing, because I know it's there. That's such a good look to me. That rolled up hips, those hip jeans, or in our case, what we're talking about.
The fact, they don't have to be all dressed up with makeup or whatever.
Yes.
They still look good.
Maybe that's a confidence thing. Maybe that's what everybody talks about, how confidence is more attractive than looks sometimes, because and that's how you get some of these guys. And I'm not even picking on people, but you get really ugly looking fat dudes that are with these fucking models. It's like, how did you do that? Well, they were confident, so maybe.
Money or a big dick?
One of them too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it. And those are the girls that are on the fucking Facebook with their last 10 pictures.
In my case, I don't have either.
In a bikini with their legs spread
I don't
open.
have either. I'm just really fucking funny. So.
Yeah, that's how you do it, I guess. So looks, basically.
Well, yeah, I guess.
But anyways, yeah, that's a big. I don't even know how we got on this fucking subject.
Talking about this, and then just this is how we get sidetracked.
Yeah, I guess
whatever. That's
just
fine.
Natural.
We just get talking because I started saying I think these girls are like whores, and you were saying how they post a Facebook picture and you don't think they're whores, but they're doing it for attention.
Yep.
But right here, number one, this is what I want to get to. This says right here.
What is this? A list of stuff?
Yeah, it's got like it comes up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Excuse me. Explains it. It says Rhoades has no rights to any of the videos she's appeared in. While it's her body and she should have say in how the content is used, sadly, for women in the industry, that's rarely the case. A lot of the videos I have no rights under. Otherwise, I probably would have deleted them all by now, she admitted. And that's exactly right. That's probably why when you shoot it, they make it so that they now own the video.
Some of these adult stars have thousands of videos out there. Do you realize, I don't know if she realizes how hard it would be, even if she could, how hard that would be to delete that.
People could have them saved on their phone.
Right, and not only is there thousands on the actual porn sites, but you have to go to every fucking porn site. Think of how many there are. I mean, Christ, there's got to be thousands of them with your thousands of videos on them, so you got to delete them all from every place. And then, like you say, people just have them personally saved or whatever on there or whatever.
I'm just thinking she's feeling guilty about doing what she did.
Yeah,
and
that's all it is. I think so too.
It was fine while you were doing it at the time and you were making all that money. Now all of a sudden you either feel guilty or maybe she's trying to pursue something in her life that this is hindering that and making it harder for her to pursue.
And as much as I do feel for her as far as the fact that now because of this, you can't do certain things in life and you know that your body is out there in the world for everyone to see, I get why that upsets you. But I have no remorse. You made that choice. It's like like we said, it's like taking out a loan. You knew going into it. When you go to a porn set and you know, there's different things. If somebody is like drugged or something in a porn movie, that's completely different. If you're drugged and then they do a porn thing and put it on the internet, I completely agree with her on something like that. But if you go to a porn set time and time again, you know what you're. It's like we talked about with the Hooters waitresses complaining about how their shorts are too short.
You know what you're getting into when you go to work
Don't go fucking work there then. Go to Olive Garden. Go to Red Lobster. Go somewhere else. You know what Hooters is about. Just like this girl, when you go how many times to a fucking porn set, you know why you're going there. That's your choice.
Every choice / decision has a consequence.
Yes.
Whether it's good or bad, every choice or decision has a consequence, and she's finding out hers right now.
Number
Shouldn't
2.
have done it.
She has serious regrets about getting involved in the adult film industry to begin with. Asked if she wishes she had stayed away altogether, Rhoades responded, "I do. I honestly tell people if I could go back, I would give up everything to have my dignity and respect back and for people not to be able to see me in that way." I get what she's saying, but again,
I understand.
Lana Rhoades is a big fucking name. She's probably got 500 videos out there. How many times does it take before you go, I shouldn't be doing this? So I still have no... I get what she's saying. I have no remorse.
It's not like she's made 5, 10, 15 videos.
Right, it wasn't like her and her boyfriend slipped one.
I wish I did. Exactly. I wish I didn't do that.
Yep.
You have hundreds upon hundreds and hundreds of videos out there.
Yep.
In all that time of filming those hundreds and hundreds of videos and all those hours of recording, you never thought, I don't want to do this.
Right.
Until now. Now all of a sudden you're like, man, I wish I didn't do that. I wish I didn't fuck 300 guys.
That's my thing. I don't have I'm not that shallow that I don't see that there's certain situations, like a rape type situation's one thing that should.
Well, I agree. That's obvious.
There's other ones where you and your boyfriend might have been with somebody and did a couple of videos on your phone, and then you broke up and the boyfriend sent it out. I could see you. I can understand that.
Absolutely.
So I don't have any. It's not that I don't have remorse for the whole situation. I just have no remorse for what she's done. Because this wasn't a nip slip. This wasn't a boyfriend that got mad at her
raped.
and sent it out there.
She chose to literally make porn.
Right.
Rhoades still suffers from PTSD and other mental health issues because of her experience.
Do you have to suffer from some type of a mental, not necessarily a mental disease, but do you have to have the running joke is she's got daddy problems. Do you feel all porn stars have some type of an issue that led them to that? I do not. I think some porn stars genuinely enjoy it. And that girl, Riley Reid, I was talking about.
She'd be one of them.
To listen to her on podcasts and talking to people, she actually she said, maybe she's lying, I don't know, but according to what she's saying, I'm going off of what she says, she just enjoyed the industry. She liked doing what she did, so she
liked
did it.
Getting fucking pounded all the time.
20 years from now, she might have a whole different thing, but the things that I listen to, she just enjoyed her job.
When she has kids and her kids find out her mom was a porn star.
I think they asked her about that, but I didn't pay enough attention to do that.
That's what would bother me.
Yeah. Yep.
Honestly, even on a male aspect of it, not even if I was like the female doing it, either end of it, the female or male, that would still bother me. If I obviously already have kids and I've never been in porn because I'm fat and they don't want me, and I have a small dick. But if I didn't, then when I do have kids,
you'll get no argument from
me. What do you say to them? How do you?
Well, and here's how things are.
It's not like when they get old enough, you're gonna be like, well, I just want to let you know before you find out on your own, mom was this or dad was this. I would never bring it up, but I think ultimately they're just gonna find it on their own anyway. Or as they get older, exactly. You know, you might be hanging out, like, oh my God, hey, you're Tommy so and so. Oh, I know your mommy. I think I saw her. Well, they wouldn't be saying.
How do they know her fucking mom or her dad if it wasn't for that reason?
It's gonna happen. If you're that big of a star, you're gonna get your kids are gonna find out about you. Mm-hmm. Are you embarrassed about it? What do you do?
Hey, don't even take that big of a star. I'm kind of a nobody when it comes to this stuff. And one of Owen's friends from school actually follows me by accident. It wasn't him telling him to do it. Follows me on YouTube for the trucking channel.
No shit.
So it just happens, and I'm nobody. You know what I mean? So imagine being somebody that large of a celebrity that could...
It's not hard to find out about you.
Right, yeah. Now, this goes to how sexist the world really is. I feel like if you take a dad and a mom were both porn stars and their kids grew up and found out, I feel like a bunch of boys around the lunch table in school finds out that, oh, your dad's a porn star? Tell me about it. I want to know all about it. That's awesome. But if they found out that the kid's mom was a porn star...
They want to do her.
Or they would think she was slutty or whatever. You know what I mean? The double standard that women have, really.
Do you think if the mom and dad was each a porn star and the kid found out about it or whatever, do you think that would make the child more likely to end up in the porn industry because both their parents were?
I think it's going to depend on the parents and how serious they take the job, because like I said, some porn stars take it like an actual career and really treat it like a business.
Mm-hmm.
And then other ones are basically just doing it, I think, because they have daddy problems or whatever. So I think it's going to depend on the kids' parents to how they taught them about it, and kind of because when it comes down to it, kids usually want to do, especially little boys, I think, want to do what the dad does. You know, if the dad's a police officer, if the dad's a fireman.
That's what I was getting at, why I asked that question. Typically, the children want to follow in the parents'
I would say a little boy would want to do it more. Not only that, but like I just said, the sexism in the world, it's almost more acceptable if a boy is a porn star when they grow up. Then,
which we touched on that.
Then, a girl is kind of like, no, I can't do that. I'll be considered a slut or whatever, where the boy is kind of
like
considered cool for some reason. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it would come down to the way they're raised.
Fair enough. I agree.
She's much happier now that she's out of it. As she revealed, her career in the adult industry didn't even pay very well, and she's doing much better financially now that she's left it behind. The industry I did not get paid shit, she said. I probably had $100,000 in my bank account when I quit shooting porn, and now I'm a multi-millionaire.
Bullshit. I don't believe that.
I have yet to hear a porn star, whether they're happy or unhappy, talk about how little money they made, and she's a big name.
So then, it proves my point even more. So you weren't getting paid that much. You're just a whore and just enjoyed it then. But now you're crying. You weren't getting paid. So
Why? If it wasn't about the money, why was it then?
Yeah, what the fuck you do? If you're getting paid pennies, why are you doing it?
Great point.
Case in point, she just feels bad about herself being a fucking...
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, let's see. I know it. Well,
I mean, anyway, after all this, it doesn't take away from her look. She's a very attractive woman.
She is hot. People make decisions, though, sometimes in life.
I'd probably give her $5
based on age. I got to try to remember that when I say I got no remorse, and I still don't really, but I'm trying to have an open mind with it. Ever since this podcast, mainly because of the podcast, I try to look at things from both angles.
I agree.
Because I've said it time and time again, if you can prove me wrong, I'll take your side on it. So I'm trying to look at her, and there is things that I've done as a child or younger that I look back and what'd you do that for, you idiot?
You got to be at least 18 to do porn, though. That's not really a child anymore.
No, but you got to be 18 to get a tattoo, and I know a lot of people have gotten I have one that I wish I didn't get.
I do too. It's right here on my arm.
I was thinking about this one, but you know what I mean?
I was thinking of the one that
Hell, I was, what the fuck? I was 34 when I did that, so I was well over 18. I was well into an adult. And
you were thinking with that head, not that head.
And you still make sure. And she was probably thinking with her pocketbook instead of her some other thing.
With her fucking fifth pocket.
Sure. So I guess in an effort to just try to be on everybody's side and see the logic behind it,
you got one tattoo that you regret. She fucked 400 guys for...
So I guess I still got to lean to the side of not having any remorse for it. So you might have made a mistake. I could see that, making a mistake, like a tattoo. Oh, fuck, I wish I never got that tattoo, or I wish I never got my eyebrow pierced, whatever the fuck it may be in your life that you've done that you were a little younger and weren't thinking straight. But again, that would be like 1 or 2 videos. But to do the amount of videos that she's done, I don't have an exact number, but I can tell you just hearing her name, I've heard it before. So she's got to be large enough.
Only heard it. You've never actually seen her.
No, read about it in books.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But that's right, because you are a reader now.
Yeah, not yet. Not until them books come, but I can't wait. I got Harry to watch the first season, did I tell you?
Yes.
Christ, he got right into it. He's probably going to come back next week and watch the second season.
That's romantic.
Yep. So, anyway, that's that. Yeah, I still have no remorse, but I guess in an effort to try to play devil's advocate, I can kind of see people making mistakes. Not to her level, though. She made numerous mistakes and never learned from them to begin with, so that's on her now.
That's exactly it. We all make mistakes. It's if you learn from them. Yep. And she didn't learn the first... she's at least done it 100 times. I don't even know the number, but I
You take a credit card out, and it's got a 29% interest rate. You put $5,000 on that, you fight for years and years, and you finally get that paid off. Okay, I made a mistake. I paid for it. I worked hard. I got out of that. That was done.
I'm not doing that again.
Not going to do that again. But in her situation, it's like, nope, let's go get another credit card with 29%.
Let's get a $10,000
and then let's get another one. Then let's get another one. Then let's get another one. And then after you're $500,000 in debt, you come to the news and the media and say, I wish I never got those credit cards. I want them all deleted and forgot about. Well, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, life doesn't work that way.
You know, kids get credit cards and pay outrageous interest rates, and some adults do too in a jam or in different situations. But it's like, okay, I made a mistake. I learned from it. I moved on. She did not until it was too late. And now that's her problem and not the world's. Right. Because we still want Lana Rhoades porn videos.
Yes, live with it, you bitch.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? We're going on.
Fuck you. That's what I want to say.
That's 2 hours.
It's fucking. My nose is. It's cold in here.
It is cold in here. It's taking a little while for that to heat up.
Son of a.
Oh, you know why too? I had the door shut down there all day. I never came up here because I had to leave and do that drug test and stuff, so I never bothered to come up here.
You're gonna fail.
The fuck I am. I don't know. Christ.
Fucking druggy.
So that is it for episode 20. This is going to come out Thursday, what's today? 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th of Thursday. And from there on out, like we mentioned before, but in case anybody just skipped right to the end of the show to get it over with.
I wouldn't blame them if they did.
After this episode that comes out on Thursday, this will be the last Thursday episode for now, unless we could figure something out. But for now, we're just going to go to Mondays.
For basically the foreseeable future.
Right.
It's
that gives me, so if we record on Monday or Tuesday, that gives me a couple hours each night to do the editing, get it uploaded. And if something comes up, like with my job, I might have to plow if a snowstorm comes, or Mike might have to work. He works like a shifting schedule, so that might affect that. But it'll give me all week to work on it a couple hours during the week. And if I still can't get it, I got all Saturday and Sunday I can dick with it and get it done.
It's just easier all the way around.
Right. With me going back to work and with Mike going back to work soon here, it's going to come down to one a week. And, too, I didn't think that might give us more time to do some preparation. Not that we've had an issue. I think we come up with pretty good articles and stuff, but
I think it's better.
Maybe the show will even be better.
To you last week, the week before, remember we were talking about different stuff, and I was like, I think you were saying maybe get material, but let's research it a little more to have a little more to talk about.
Right.
Which I agree with. We seem to do fine, but I agree with. And remember, I was like, I think maybe once a week then, because if we're now going to dedicate, finding an article or two and researching it, well, if we had to do that twice a week on top of working and family and shit, like it doesn't work out.
So I guess
there's just a lot going on.
The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. And the way I look at that is that He's going to take away one of the episodes a week. But maybe we can make them better episodes once a week instead of shittier episodes 2 a week. I don't think they're shitty, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. I completely understand.
We just put more effort in it. It came to kind of the point, we had talked about this in the past where it was like, it got to the point where we kind of felt like we were just copying and pasting articles and reading them. And again, we just did that here, but that was about it.
A little bit different.
I think we did it a little differently. Yeah.
After we talked the last time, I think these last two have been a lot better.
I think so.
Although we say that, the one in particular that we were referring to.
Yeah.
Everybody, even people getting a hold of me saying, "Man, that was a great show."
Yep.
I'm thinking, "Nah, that's fucking sucks." I didn't like it. I still don't like it. I didn't really like it.
This is going to be 20. We just today came out Monday. Today's Monday.
Today's Monday.
So that was Monday, and it was the last one before. So last Thursdays, after we record it and upload it, me and Mike were like, we got to do some change in here. This sucks how we've been changing.
Almost as soon as we shut the camera off.
I still agree with the fact that they were just becoming too much sex. I don't mind talking about it. I enjoy talking about it. It's natural.
Some of it was too
but some of it was too raunchy, and it got to the point where 2 hours of sex.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, I know some people listen and they like that, but it's just the point. Like my mother listens to, and that's not the whole thing, but still, it was just too much.
Yep.
It really was. Like we said, the one thing with that girl drinking semen through a straw. Like, yeah. All right, if you're into it, that's fine. That's your thing. But that's fucking. You know what? I know there's really no limits on this show, but I don't want to sit up here and be fucking talking about that.
My issue with it wasn't even so much that I wanted to get away from the nastiness and the sex stuff all the time. But my issue was more as I felt lazy. I felt like I was using the sex as a crutch because it was a shock. It was a shocker when you talk about the nasty stuff. So I could be lazy and not do any research on any of these cool articles and find out actual numbers and stuff. I could just take some shocking article, throw it on there, read it word for word, and everybody would be like, wow, I can't believe they talked about that. Where I kind of, after that episode last Thursday, we were kind of talking, and I was thinking to myself, like, I'm just being lazy. I'm not putting any effort into these articles or figuring out anything.
Not only that, a couple of them, though, you look through, read some of the comments on YouTube and stuff. One guy was like, oh, that one with the relationships I can relate to or whatever. Mm-hmm. One guy was like, hey, when Mike did that list about Wes, it was funny.
That was a big
when Wes was talking about trucking, that was cool. Well, it goes to show that, yeah, a lot of people listen to some people like the sex stuff, but some people might like the trucking stuff. They might like the list. So we can't just make the whole show about sex because...
We've got them backwards, too, sometimes, because I've had people get a hold of me and say they love the sex stuff.
Well, absolutely.
So it's hard.
It's hard to keep
we're going to
everybody
leave it in
happy.
there. It's not going away. It's
hard to keep everybody happy, but we can't make... If it's a 2-hour show, we can't basically be an hour and a half, hour, 40 minutes of sex, and then 20 minutes of a relationship or something. We need to basically split it up a little better to give everybody a little piece of the pie so that everybody gets what they want.
However, what got us on this subject was after we had talked about that and how we wanted to change that episode, that nastiest episode that made us want to change, was the biggest downloaded episode we've ever done. And as far as monetization and money, we earned the most on that one of any
That's the one that
single. That was the best episode we've ever done, and that's the one that we were like, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a hold of me, so to give them a backstory so they know real quick, is you literally got a hold of me. We're talking about it, we're this and that, and then you were watching, you're like, oh my God, we only got 2 views in 45 minutes or something. I'm like, well, just give it this and that. To the point where I was joking, I was like, well, fuck it, we'll quit then. He goes, fair enough, you'll know when I'm ready. I can't keep doing all this work and this editing and not getting views and basically rewards.
It dropped out significantly. I mean, we were getting like 45 views in an hour. Remember that list we brought up? If you get 27 listens, I say views, it's all the same. Downloads, listens, views.
Tomato.
If you get 27 listens in the first week of an episode, you're considered the top 10%.
And we would do that in like the first
hour. We
were
doing 47, 48 in the first fucking hour. Right. And then this one, I looked, it was 2 hours in, we had 3 listens. I'm like, what the fuck? I said, we're dropping that. Kind of what got me thinking. I was like, it's got to be this sex thing. We're just getting boring. We're being lazy. And
then you woke up, though. And
I woke up the next morning. I look at noon.
Oh
for some reason,
God.
it was the biggest fucking episode yet to date. It was our best one yet.
Because I remember you telling me, you're like, Bob, he's like, I just got to fucking chill out sometimes. Take it easy. He goes, not only did we get the most views and listens that we've ever had on any episode, he said we've made the most money on this one episode alone.
So just by math, that was our best episode, and that was the one that made us want to go, no, let's go back to the way we used to be.
Which I will say, though, even with knowing those stats and those circumstances,
I still don't want to talk about that shit the entire time.
Exactly.
We'll keep it for the second. We have a sex segment. We'll do that raunchy shit there once in a while, but it's just not the whole time. Anyways, you guys are listening to our fucking nonsense and crying and whining. So episode 20 will be out on the 6th. This comes out on the 6th, Thursday at midnight, as usual. And I'm going to try to do a little more work on the Facebook. I'm going to try to bring some articles. You notice I've been doing it a little bit with the Rogan stuff. Try to bring some relatable articles to that.
So they can research it.
Yeah, so it isn't just the show popping up all the time. It's some other different things. So we're going to work on that this week. And after this Monday's episode, we're going to go to one a week, Monday at midnight, and it's going to be better, I promise you. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the like button, the notification button on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, whatever you got to do. Otherwise, you have a little dick. And we don't want that for you. We want you guys to have big dicks.
Well, actually, I prefer that only I had one, but
we know that ain't going to happen.
Yeah, so beggars can't be choosers. I guess I got to settle for everybody else to have one.
See you later, guys. See you in the next one.
Have a good one.